Chapter 954. No. The Frost dragon glared at the man furiously. His expression was filled with killing intent. Sixth brother is dead. As his elder brother, as his brother, I cannot allow the murderer to get away with it. Back then, I personally promised sixth brother's mother that I would take good care of him. But now sixth brother is dead. How am I supposed to face sixth brother's mother? How am I supposed to face the people I once promised? The more the Frost dragon spoke, the more agitated he became. The man who had been looking at him the entire time grew silent. He knew that among the six brothers, he had the closest relationship with sixth brother. Similarly, he also knew that his persuasion was useless. However, he still didn't know how strong the Frost dragon was. His brother had already died. He couldn't just watch as another brother died. He couldn't do that. See, I understand how you feel. I also feel very pained. However, in order to not repeat the same mistake, I cannot allow you to leave. You, don't force me. Hearing his brother's words, the Frost dragon was startled. His killing intent soared to the sky. At this moment, he was furious. He hated anyone who tried to stop him from taking revenge. No matter who that person was, even if it was C, his fourth brother, he would not allow it. You want to kill me? You want to kill me? Sensing the overwhelming killing intent, C truly didn't want to believe that his brother would want to kill him. However, the truth was before him. Even if he didn't want to believe it, he couldn't. Humph. As long as you come up here, I won't make things difficult for you. You know that if I'm anxious, no one can stop me. That includes you. Although his third brother was a man of few words, when they became sworn brothers, he said that he would never attack his brothers. However, in this current situation, for the sake of sixth brother, he couldn't care less. You. Seeing the killing intent in the Frost dragon's eyes, third brother grew silent. However, he became even more determined. Although he didn't know how strong the person who killed sixth brother was, he knew that the person who killed him was very powerful. Then, let's fight. Clang. The sound of a spear resounded through the world. A silver spear appeared in third brother's hand, ready to fight. See, no matter what happens today, I won't let you go. Like I said just now, wait for big brother and the others to come together. That way, the chances of victory will be higher. If you come alone, I'm afraid that you won't be able to come back like sixth brother. If that's the case, then we will have one less brother. I won't allow it. Alas. Seeing OL third's insistence, the Frost dragon sighed softly and murderous intent surged out. If that's the case, then let's fight. I haven't had a good spar with you all these years. Let me see how strong you are. Asterisk whoosh, asterisk after the Frost dragon finished speaking, its huge body instantly rushed out like an arrow released from a bow. There was no turning back. Its speed was so fast that it left one speechless. I didn't expect C to be so powerful. Just based on his speed alone, he's already caught up to second brother. Seeing C rushing towards him, OL third narrowed his eyes. Heh, but if this is your full strength, then I'm really disappointed. Others might not know, but OL third knew very well that his cultivation was much higher than the Frost dragon's. However, because of some matters, he didn't reveal his true strength among the six brothers. Of course, their eldest brother, the Golden Dragon, knew this very well. Other than the Golden Dragon, no one else knew because OL third had never revealed his true strength in front of others. What? Although OL third's voice was very soft, the Frost dragon still heard it very clearly. Whoosh, OL third's vision blurred. OL third's lips curled up slightly, and a strange smile appeared on his face. In the next moment, his figure mysteriously disappeared. What? This sudden scene shocked the Frost dragon, and its expression was one of disbelief. Because in its view, no, it should be that in the brother's view, OL 3rd's cultivation wasn't very strong, but it was still very impressive. But now that it saw OL 3rd's speed, it knew that it had to reevaluate its third brother in the future. I said before, with me here today, you won't be able to escape. A cold voice came from above. Hiss. When it looked up and saw OL 3rd above its head, the frost dragon couldn't think of anything other than shock. When did you get on top of my head? And your cultivation? Looking at OL 3rd, the frost dragon said in shock. Cultivation? This is my cultivation. It's just that we don't often spar, so it's normal that you don't know. OL 3rd smiled. Impossible. You weren't this strong back then. I remember that your cultivation was the weakest among us brothers back then. Now, you. Suddenly, the frost dragon's voice stopped abruptly. Its eyes widened in disbelief. Could it be that you were originally this strong? Then, have you been hiding all these years? This was the most likely thought that came to the frost dragon's mind. OL 3rd was speechless. Looking at OL 3rd's silence, the frost dragon understood that it might have guessed correctly. It was just that it didn't understand why OL 3rd pretended to be weak when he was so strong and talented. If it had the same talent as OL 3rd, perhaps it wouldn't be the golden dragon who saw it today, but the frost dragon race instead. Can you tell me why? After the agitation, the frost dragon calmed down. It was so calm that it was a little ridiculous. It wanted to know why OL 3rd did this and what was its motive. There was even a moment when it suspected that OL 6th's death was related to it. No. The two words left the frost dragon speechless. In fact, it had also expected this outcome. So, you better stay here obediently for now. You've seen how strong I am. You're no match for me. So, you're acting weird. Stop messing around. After saying that, he landed on the frost colossal dragon. Roar. The frost dragon let out a dragon roar and shook its body rapidly. Do you think it's possible? He raised his huge head and looked at the third brother, saying, just like you said, you should know my personality, so hurry up and get down. I'm going to get my revenge. No one can do anything about this matter today. I'll kill anyone who stands in my way. You are no exception. After saying that, it shook its body and tried to get OL 3rd off its body. It left to take revenge. Bam! Roar! A hysterical roar came out of the frost dragon's mouth, followed by the frost dragon's powerful body falling from the sky uncontrollably. Boom! A muffled sound rang out as the 1,000-feet-long frost dragon was smashed into the ground. The earth trembled as if an earth dragon had flipped over. Due to the trembling of the earth, the surrounding mountains began to show signs of landslides within 1,000-feet radius. OL 3rd stood in the air and looked at the frost dragon that had been sent flying with a slap. He sneered. You want to take revenge with this little strength? Where did your arrogance go? Killing anyone who stands in your way? You can't even leave this area. I think you'd better stay with me and wait for Big Brother and the others to come back. Then, we'll take revenge for OL 6th. Even though the Frost WYRM wanted to kill him, he couldn't bring himself to do it. Roar, you, lying on the ground, the frost dragon glared angrily at OL 3rd in the air. It looked as if it wanted to eat OL 3rd alive. You're not convinced? Looking at the frost dragon's hate-filled eyes, OL 3rd smiled and said, actually, you can be unconvinced. I have nothing to do anyway. I'll just stay here and take care of you. Having seen OL 3rd's strength, the frost dragon rolled its eyes and lost all its temper. It had no choice. It couldn't think of a way to escape from the cage and find OL 6th's murderer. On the other side, Linley had stopped at the peak of a towering mountain. He frowned as he stared into the depths of the Xianming Valley with a solemn expression. Dragon race. Why would a dragon be in a place like this? It turned out that just now, when Lin Ray was flying, he felt his heart palpitate. He stopped and released his divine sense to investigate. He saw a dragon appear in Lin Rei's divine sense. Its aura was strong. Although it couldn't defeat the brilliant dragon, its strength couldn't be underestimated. After all, the dragon race was naturally stronger than humans. However, he couldn't understand why a dragon would appear in a place like this. He always thought that the dragon race was born on Dragon Island. He wasn't the only one who thought so. Most people in the god realm thought so too. Tisk, you're really interesting. Why do you care where they live? What does it have to do with you? The little dragon's voice rang in his mind. You rascal. He was used to the little dragon's sharp tongue. After all, the little dragon was always like this. It was as if it would feel uncomfortable if it didn't find fault with him for a day. Heh. The little dragon laughed and said, this time, I mainly want to talk to you. Didn't you say that we were going to teach you the spatial technique? What's wrong? Lin Rei nodded in disbelief. The little dragon did mention it before, but it was left unsettled in the end. You're saying. He frowned and became excited. Since you've guessed it, what else do you want me to say? The little dragon couldn't help rolling its eyes at Lin Rei's excited look. Damn, you're really going to teach me the spatial technique? He had been eyeing the spatial technique for a long time, but the little dragon insisted that he could only learn it when he became a late-stage ultimate god. That's not right. Didn't you say that I have to wait until the late stage? Why now? Hey, why do you have so many questions? Seeing Lin Rei's hesitation, the little dragon said impatiently, do you want it or not? If you don't want it, I don't have to give it to you. It's not like I'm losing out. Yes, how can you not want it? Yes, hee. You rascal. The little dragon was helpless when it saw Lin Rei's flattering look. The reason why I'm teaching you the spatial technique is to let you deal with the space origin. Although you've just learned the spatial technique, I believe that you should be able to master it quickly. As for subduing the space origin, I'll help you when the time comes. Although it said that it would not explain, it still explained it in the end. Understood. Don't worry, I'll learn the spatial technique well. I'll definitely not embarrass you. After all, you're half my master. Even if I embarrass myself, I won't embarrass you, right? Pfft. In the system space, the little dragon, who was originally serious, burst into laughter after hearing this. Of course, its expression was full of gratification. Okay, I'll teach you the spatial technique quickly so that you can experience it for yourself later. The laughter stopped and it returned to its serious face. Come on, I can't wait. You. Seeing Lin Rei open his hands as if he wanted to be abused, the little dragon had a headache. Damn, why did I let you be my host in the first place? Sigh, forget it. It's too late to regret now. As if compromising, he raised his hand and a ray of light flickered between the little dragon's index finger. Although the light was weak, it was like the stars in the sky, giving off a gentle feeling. Next, I'll teach you the spatial technique. Remember, learn it well. The power of the spatial technique is far beyond your imagination. As the saying goes, space is king, time is emperor. No matter which one it is, it was recognized as powerful in the ancient times, so you must not underestimate it. Do you understand? Lin Rei, who was already prepared, couldn't help but roll his eyes. Understood. I'll learn the spatial technique well. Don't worry. Okay, accept it then. After receiving Lin Rei's assurance, the little dragon smiled and opened its eyes abruptly. 10 rays of light instantly rushed forward like silk threads. Whoosh. In front of the little dragon, the 10 rays of light didn't even reach a meter before a door appeared and swallowed them. Ugh. Damn. At this moment, in the outside world, Lin Rei, who was waiting for the transmission, suddenly felt a pain in his head. An indescribable pain spread throughout his body. It started with his brain, then his upper body, and then his limbs. all the meridians in his body felt like they were burning. His bones felt like they were being squeezed to a high degree, making creaking sounds. It was as if he was being tortured. Ah, finally, a scream came out of Lin Ray's mouth. His face instantly turned pale. His expression was as frightening as a ghost that had just returned from the underworld. "Heh, kid, do you think it's so easy to learn the spatial technique?" Looking at Lin Ray's pain, a smile appeared on the little dragon's face. But if one looked carefully, one would be able to see that deep in the little dragon's expression, there was a trace of worry. Yes, it was worry. It was worried about Lin Ray. After all, it knew the power of the spatial technique. If he couldn't get through this hurdle, he wouldn't be able to learn the spatial technique. Instead, he would become a fool because he couldn't bear the information of the spatial technique. Ah, a hoarse scream came out of Lin Ray's mouth. At this moment, he felt the same pain that he had experienced before. It wasn't pain at all. "Little dragon, you tricked me again. Wait for me to go back and see how I will beat you up." Although he felt uncomfortable with the sudden pain, but when he thought about his goal and the people he wanted to protect, this pain was nothing. Enduring the pain, he sat up straight and began to accept the spatial technique that the little dragon transmitted into his mind. "Heh, I knew you could do it." Seeing Lin Ray's reaction, the little dragon knew that Lin Ray had stopped. Not only did he stop, but he also began to accept the information of the spatial technique. Chapter 955. At the entrance of the Xianming Valley, the few people who were left behind had complicated feelings. Lin Ray had left for some time, and there were some noises coming from the Xianming Valley. It had been a while, and there were some trembling noises coming from the Xianming Valley. Everyone was very worried about this. Among them, the most worried were naturally Lin Ray's wife, Ying, and Tian. Every time Lin Ray left, they were very worried about Lin Ray, but there was nothing they could do about it. Sakura was relatively better. As Lin Ray's clone, he was very clear about Lin Ray's current situation. If something happened to Lin Ray, he would immediately receive information from Lin Ray. After all, as Lin Ray's clone, although he didn't have the same cultivation as Lin Ray, he could still do certain things, such as telepathy. Of course, other than the three of them, Tian Ning and Tian Ying were also worried. However, they didn't know Lin Ray for long, so they didn't show too much concern. "Sigh, he's been gone for some time. Why isn't he back yet? Didn't he say he was just going to investigate?" At the side, the Dubhy rabbit, who was lying on a rock with its legs crossed and a piece of barbecued meat in its mouth, grumbled. Ever since Lin Ray left, the Dubhy rabbit had never stopped grumbling. However, every time the Dubhy rabbit opened its mouth, Sakura would give it some benefits to shut it up. It was the same as before. "Alright, this is for you. Don't talk nonsense, hurry up and eat." Saying that, he threw a pill bottle to the Dubhy rabbit and instructed. Sakura was also very helpless about the Dubhy rabbit being so delicious. Even Tian Ning, who was separated from the Dubhy rabbit origin, was the same. She really couldn't understand why a slaughter origin loved to eat so much. Once upon a time, her child, the Dubhy rabbit, wasn't a slaughter origin at all. However, when she thought of the monstrous slaughter chi emitted from the Dubhy rabbit, her thoughts were forcefully ground away. "Hee, you know me well." Looking at the pill bottle in her hand, although she wasn't clear about the pill inside, she understood that Sakura's things definitely wouldn't be bad. On the second day Lin Ray had it, she remembered very clearly that at that time, in order to assist her mouth, Sakura had also taken out a medicinal pill, but at that time, Dubhy rabbit was very disdainful. Initially, Dubhy rabbit thought that it would be a waste not to eat it. However, in the next moment, he was completely stunned. After seeing the pills in the pill bottle, the witness's expression became nervous. His pupils dilated as if he had seen something incredible. The moment the pill bottle was opened, an abundant pill fragrance filled the room. Everyone understood why the heavenly pivot rabbit had such an expression. After this, Dubhy rabbit understood that all the medicinal pills on Sakura were good stuff. Although some of them were used for healing injuries, just thinking about the smell made Dubhy Rabbit excited. Hurry up and eat, or else I'm afraid I'll go back on my word. Rolling his eyes at Dubhy Rabbit, Sakra couldn't help but laugh. When he was speaking, his gaze never left the pill bottle. Others might not know, but he knew very well how powerful that medicinal pill was. Although it didn't reach the saint level, it was a peak paragon level existence. Although it didn't have much effect on increasing one's cultivation, in terms of healing injuries, he was certain that there was no better existence than the medicinal pill in Dubhy Rabbit's hand. Of course, this was only in the divine realm. As for the sacred realm, he didn't know and didn't want to know. I understand. She could feel Sakra's heartache, but there was nothing she could do. Sigh, as the saying goes, only delicacies can't be let down. It's really well said. Hiss, I say, are you going to eat it or not? If not, hurry up and give it to me, I'll exchange it for you. Seeing how shameless Dubhy Rabbit was, Sakra couldn't help but want to exchange it with her. Not only did he want to, but when he was about to do it, his hand had already touched the spatial ring on his finger, as if he needed to exchange something. I'll go. Gulp. Seeing Sakra's action, Dubhy Rabbit was startled and anxious. How could she care so much? She raised her head and the medicinal pill entered the Dubhy Rabbit's mouth through the bottle. Gulp. When the medicinal pill entered her mouth, Dubhy Rabbit didn't hesitate to eat it. Everyone was already used to Dubhy Rabbit's behavior. After all, after Lin Ray left, Dubhy Rabbit had been doing this every day. Although everyone felt that it was a waste of natural resources in the beginning, they couldn't help but feel numb to it. So fragrant. Ignoring everyone's supercilious looks, Dubhy Rabbit enjoyed the delicacy alone. The medicinal pill melted in her mouth and nose. A warm current flowed from her esophagus to her abdomen and spread throughout her body. Huff, Dubhy Rabbit felt very comfortable with this feeling. It would be great if there were a few more of these medicinal pills. Regarding the heavenly pivot rabbit's whisper, although it was soft, everyone heard it very clearly. They had seen shameless people before, but Di Shur Tian had never seen such a shameless person. Di Shur Tian already didn't want to say anything to her. Dubhy Rabbit's shamelessness was beyond the horizon. He believed that there was almost no one in the entire universe who could be compared to Dubhy Rabbit. A few minutes later, the happiness on Dubhy Rabbit's face disappeared and was replaced by disappointment. Sakra was delighted and said, "All right, now that you have eaten it, you will be fine in the future. Don't complain anymore, okay?" Dubhy Rabbit turned her head and looked at Sakra. Although she didn't want to agree, she had no choice. Who asked her to promise and make an oath? In the end, she nodded and replied, okay, isn't it just don't complain? I won't say anything." After speaking, Dubhy Rabbit ignored everyone and continued to lie on the stone to eat the barbecue. What now? Is she still an existence that once stood at the peak of Tao? Why is she so shameless and weird? Sakra really wanted to know the answer to this question, but after seeing Tian Ning, he threw this matter to the back of his mind. As for what happened in Xianming Valley, Lin Ray didn't know. Sakra and the others also didn't know what happened to Lin Ray. The only thing he knew was that Lin Ray was fine and very well. Don't worry, Lin Ray is very well now. As an avatar, I can sense Lin Ray's existence. Although his aura was a bit weak at the beginning, it has returned to normal and is rising. I estimate that he will become stronger again after seeing him this time. But I am still a bit worried. If we can go in. Stop. Hearing Shadow's thoughts, Sakra didn't wait for her to finish before hurriedly stopping her. Before leaving, Linley had instructed them not to enter the Xianming Valley. Therefore, when he heard Shadow's thoughts of entering, he immediately stopped her. Let's not talk about this anymore. Sakra looked at the two and continued, before leaving, Lin Ray told me to watch over you too. So don't think about going in. This is my promise to Lin Ray. After speaking, he came to a place not far from the two and released his powerful cultivation. He was very clear about the two's strength, but as Lin Rei's avatar, he believed in his own strength more. So, Sakura's action stunned the two and then shook their heads helplessly. They understood Sakura's meaning. Thinking of their husband's advice before leaving, the two didn't make things difficult for him and retreated to the side. They didn't think about entering Xianming Valley anymore. Looking at the two of them retreating, Sakura's complexion improved a lot. However, he didn't return to his original position. Instead, he sat down on the spot. It wasn't that he was worried, but he knew Linley's position in their hearts. Although he looks exactly like my husband, his personality and style are completely different. Too hateful. AI. Why did my husband make his avatar look so similar to himself? If I didn't know my husband's personality, perhaps I would have mistaken him. Looking at Sakura's action, the two of them muttered in their hearts. Then, they shook their heads and stopped thinking about it. They sat down cross-legged and started to cultivate. Inside Xianming Valley, Lin Rei, who received the information about the spatial technique, was still sitting in the same place as usual. His face was pale and bloodless. If it weren't for his breathing, one would think he was a dead person. It's been half a year. It should be soon. A young man appeared in front of Lin Rei out of thin air and looked at Lin Rei with a worried expression. Although the information about the spatial technique is a little too much for you, I believe that after this time, no matter if it's your cultivation or formations, there will be a huge improvement. The one who spoke was none other than the system's artifact spirit, the little dragon. In the past half a year, as long as he had the time, he would appear by Lin Rei's side to protect him. No matter what, this was the Xianming Valley with the existence of the dragon race. He didn't wish for Lin Rei to be damaged by external forces when he received the spatial technique. This was because once the transmission process ended, both the person who transmitted and the person who received the transmission would be seriously injured. This was something that he did not want to see and did not want to happen. After this, we can enter the holy world. Very soon, everything here will be over. Then, we can leave this place and return to our hometown. At this moment, an electronically synthesized and emotionless voice sounded in the little dragon's ears. The little dragon wasn't too surprised by this sudden voice. After a moment of daze, he returned to his senses and said, "Yeah, I've been here for too long. I wonder how my parents are doing. Friends from the past, are you all doing well?" Looking at the sky, a trace of nostalgia emerged in the little dragon's eyes. Haha. I don't even want to say anything about those fair-weather friends of yours. If it weren't for the fact that you trusted them so easily, you wouldn't be here now. He wanted to say something, but in the end, he didn't open his mouth. It was as if there was a fishbone stuck in his throat. However, looking at his expression, a trace of mockery emerged. So, this time when you go back, don't do it anymore. Cultivate more like Lin Rei. Only when you're strong can you have everything. Only when you're strong can you look down on everything. Only when you're strong can you be above everything. Only then can you be feared, respected, and feared by all. You've said a lot today. Seeing that you've said so much, I promise you that this time when we go back, I'll turn over a new leaf, okay? Saying so, he looked at the sky with a flattering expression. Look, my performance is so good. Isn't it a little, no? So arrogant. Yeah. You, facing the system, the little dragon didn't say anything. He was afraid that if he continued, he would vomit blood. Think about it more. Seeing that the little dragon didn't say anything, the system didn't say anything else and disappeared after giving a final reminder. Time passed quickly like a white steed flitting across a crevice. For a cultivator, time was the one thing they didn't lack the most. As the saying goes, a day in the cave is 1,000 years in fashion. Of course, although it was a little exaggerated for Lin Rei, it was still not bad. Lin Rei had been in the Xianming Valley for 2 years. In these 2 years, the transmission of the space technique had ended half a year ago. However, Lin Ray didn't wake up because he felt that after receiving the space technique, his cultivation base had reached a critical point. Not only that, even his refining technique had reached a critical point. He could feel that he only needed to take one more step, just a small step, to reach the first rank Saint realm, and his cultivation base could enter the late hierarch realm. And this cultivation took half a year. In this half a year, Lin Ray had been constantly comprehending the Great Tao. At the same time, he didn't stop his space technique. Multitasking was simply too easy for Lin Ray. Quick, just a little bit more and I can successfully break through to the late hierarch realm. Even my refining technique can break through to the first rank Saint realm. Quick, just a little bit more. At this moment, Lin Ray was extremely excited. Others only needed to stabilize their cultivation base to break through, but he didn't. Not only did he need to stabilize his cultivation base, the laws were even more important to him. Only when both of these reached a certain level could he meet the conditions for a breakthrough. Therefore, the space origin was extremely important to him. As long as he could refine the space origin, he would be able to inherit all the laws of the space origin. As long as he stabilized his cultivation base to a certain level, he would be able to break through quickly. Lin Ray had many ways to stabilize his cultivation base. Therefore, he wasn't worried about this step at all. The only thing that gave him a headache was the space origin law. Time passed slowly. A terrifying energy source slowly rippled out from Lin Ray's body. A breakthrough? At the side, the little dragon who was resting with his eyes closed suddenly felt a strong energy fluctuation around him. He immediately opened his eyes and turned his head to look at the source of the energy. When he saw that the source was Lin Ray, he immediately opened his eyes. No, this is just the precursor of a breakthrough. After checking Lin Ray's current situation, a smile appeared on his face. That's fine. A breakthrough is a breakthrough. You've been stabilizing your cultivation base for so long. It's time for a breakthrough. Otherwise, it's impossible to break through to the Saint realm in less than 400 years. Of course, I believe in you. You can do it because you are Lin Ray. Chapter 956. Looking at Lin Ray, Little Dragon's expression was filled with relief. Looking at Lin Ray, who was both a disciple and a friend in front of him, he was very happy. After all, he was the witness of Lin Ray's journey, the witness of his future. Just thinking about it made him excited. At this moment, Lin Ray's forehead was covered in cold sweat and his face was very pale, as if he had encountered a difficult problem. What's going on? Little Dragon originally felt the aftermath of the energy and thought that he could smoothly break through, but seeing Lin Ray's current state, Little Dragon's heart jumped and a bad premonition surged in his heart. Damn, it can't be. A purple halo overflowed from Lin Ray's body. The intensity was not high, but under Little Dragon's gaze, it swayed and grew little by little, until finally the purple halo was so strong that it directly wrapped Lin Ray and disappeared without a trace. As for the sudden appearance of the purple halo, Xiaolong sensed a powerful energy from it. This scene made Xiaolong realize something terrifying. Hongmeng's supreme body awakened. The system's voice and Little Dragon's voice were similar at the same time. Both of them were startled and a bitter smile appeared. How can this be? Glancing at Lin Ray, who was in the purple halo, Little Dragon questioned the system. Although Hongmeng's supreme body had awakened before, it was only the beginning. The supreme body had not truly awakened. But now, looking at the purple halo and the energy contained in Lin Ray's body, he did not think that this was a false awakening. Hongmeng's supreme body, a body so strong that it made the whole space tremble. Generally, this kind of body could only be awakened by those who had just become saints or those who had been in it for a long time and possessed the supreme Hongmeng's supreme body. Only then would there be a 30% chance of awakening. But Lin Ray's current situation was that he had not seen anyone awakening the supreme Hongmeng's supreme body at the middle stage of Supreme God, let alone heard of someone who could succeed at this level. And the requirement of awakening the supreme body was to not faint on the first day of awakening. Otherwise, if the awakening failed, it would lead to the collapse of the blood in the body, and in the worst case, the body would explode and the soul would disappear from the world forever. Looking at Lin Ray's current situation, Little Dragon's face became gloomy, his hands clenched into fists, the expression on his face, that of hatred. There's no other way. Little Dragon's action made the system understand the importance of Lin Ray to it. He was a disciple, a friend, and also its own child. From an ordinary person who was nothing to where he was today, Little Dragon had long regarded Lin Ray as its own child, friend, and disciple. Although I really want to help, without the host's permission, the system cannot directly extract things from the system to help. Even if the person who helped is the host, it is still not allowed, so, then are we really going to watch this kid die in front of us? Seeing that the system wanted to stand by and do nothing, Little Dragon roared at it. His whole face was tightly squeezed together, his killing intent soaring to the sky, as if he was going to kill it if it did not help. Don't forget, our goal is to find the Supreme Hongming Supreme Body and make it stronger so that it can come back with us. But if he rises now, then all our previous efforts will be in vain. Moreover, do you think it's so easy to create a Supreme Body? If this kid dies, then how long will it take to find the next Supreme Body? 100 million years? 1 billion years or 10 billion years, have you ever thought about that? If Lin Ray saw the Little Dragon at this moment and heard him questioning the system, and all of this was because of him, perhaps he would be stunned. No matter what, the rules are the rules. Isn't there a saying among humans? A country has its own laws, a family has its own rules. Without rules, nothing can be accomplished. Similarly, the system has its own rules. This is something that existed after the system was created, and no one can change it, including you, including me. So, I'm sorry. As for Lin Ray. Speaking until here, the system paused for a moment, and then continued, but its words were filled with helplessness. As for Lin Ray, the only thing he can do now is to stop and use his heart to protect his reverse scale to get through this. This way, it can also be considered as a test for him. With the system's words, the Little Dragon understood that the system really did not intend to help. As for the so-called test, he was not optimistic about this test at all. If it was something else, he would still believe that Lin Ray could get through it. But facing the test of the bloodline, no one could do it. Moreover, his current strength was too weak, so, the probability of being able to defeat the bloodline and break through cultivation was only 100%. This extremely low probability was calculated by the Little Dragon shamelessly. If not, it would be even lower, and even lower. Alright, this matter ends here. You don't have to say any more. Even if you say it again, it won't change anything. After saying that, the system directly showed that it did not care about the Little Dragon. To be honest, the Little Dragon was anxious, but it was more anxious than the Little Dragon. No matter if it was for a mission or for a friend, it did not want anything to happen to Lin Ray. You. Knowing the system's display, the Little Dragon's voice was loud. He did not know what to say to persuade the system to help, but he knew the system's rules. Sigh. In the end, the Little Dragon could only sigh because he really did not know what to say. The only thing he could do now was to wait quietly and pray silently. He prayed that Lin Ray would be safe and that he could get through this crisis safely. As the saying went, misfortune is caused by fortune, and fortune is dependent upon misfortune. If Linley was able to survive this crisis, then the rewards he would receive in the end would be proportionate to his losses. Sakura, your body. At this moment, at the entrance of the Xianming Valley, the Dubhe rabbit, who was as usual, turned her head and saw a purple light. Taking a closer look, it turned out to be from Sakura's body. At first, the Dubhe rabbit did not feel anything, but after looking carefully, the Dubhe rabbit was shocked. In this purple halo, she felt a vast and boundless energy. The level of this energy was especially good, even she could not compare to it. My body, what's wrong with my body? When the group of people who were cultivating heard the Dubhy rabbit's words, they thought she was joking again. But when Sakura opened his eyes and looked down, he was stunned on the spot. Looking at the purple halo that appeared on his body, Sakura was dumbfounded. He didn't understand where this purple halo came from, but he could sense the energy within it. Moreover, the energy within it gave him a familiar feeling. Sakura's voice resounded and everyone looked up in surprise. At the next moment, everyone's expression was the same as the Dubhy rabbit's and Sakura's first reaction. At the side, Tian-Ning was puzzled. But after sensing the energy from the purple halo, her face turned gloomy. Bloodline power? She turned to the Dubhy rabbit as though she wanted to verify it. Even though she sensed it, it was better to have one more person to confirm it. Looking at Tian-Ning's gaze, the Dubhy rabbit knitted her brows and nodded. That's right. With such a dense and vast energy, I can't think of anything else other than bloodline power. But what? But Sakura's bloodline is extremely powerful. So much so that I don't even know what bloodline it is. If we really want to talk about it, it can be said that his bloodline power is stronger than the Tendo physique. Moreover, it's not just a little bit stronger. What? Tian-Ning was shocked. She was shocked by the Dubhy rabbit and Sakura's bloodline. She knew about the Tendo physique because Hongjuan's physique was the Tendo physique. This physique was extremely powerful, which was why it could withstand the 3,000 great Daos and become a Tendo. However, the Dubhy rabbit was sure that Sakura's bloodline was even stronger than the heavenly Dao physique. He had never heard of this kind of bloodline before, let alone seen it before. However, he knew that if this matter was true, then if it were to spread out, the entire world would probably hunt down Sakura. Bloodline? At the side, he had been listening to the conversation between Tian-Ning and the Dubhy rabbit. When he heard the word bloodline, he understood the reason. Bloodline was right. However, it wasn't his bloodline, but Lin Rei's. As for why he had it, it was very simple. It was because his bloodline was more Lin Rei's. The reason why he and Lin Rei awakened at the same time could be attributed to their bloodline. You know you have a special bloodline? The Dubhy rabbit and Tian-Ning couldn't remain calm after hearing about Sakura's bloodline power. I already knew about it. But I don't know why it's like this now. He smiled at the two, then turned to Xianming Valley with a worried expression. The sudden appearance of bloodline power reminded him of Lin Rei in Xianming Valley. Other than Lin Rei, he couldn't think of anyone else who could do this. Did something happen? Why did your bloodline awaken now? Are you okay? Although he said he wasn't worried, he couldn't help but be worried. After such a long time, he had investigated some things about bloodline power and knew the terror of bloodline awakening. Do you know what kind of bloodline your bloodline is? Why is it so powerful? Seeing Sakura remain silent, the curious Dubhy rabbit scratched her ears and cheeks. She wanted to know what kind of bloodline it was and why she hadn't heard or seen it before. As soon as these words came out, everyone, including Yingzi and Yingzi, turned to look at Sakura. That look of wanting to know made Sakura helpless. However, he wouldn't say anything about bloodline because it was related to the safety of his main body. If he said it, the following days wouldn't be as easy as now. He looked at Tian-Ning with a gentle expression. It's better if you don't know about this. When the time is right, I will tell you everything. But now is not the time. Believe me, I understood. Without waiting for Sakura to finish his words, Tian-Ning said indifferently, if you want to say it, then say it. If you don't want to say it, then don't say it. I will wait for you to tell me one day. Also, you can rest assured that I won't tell anyone about the bloodline in your body. Dubhy rabbit won't tell anyone either, right? She looked at Tian-Ning with a threatening gaze. Right. After all, Sakura gave me elixir pills to eat. How can I be ungrateful? Right? After saying that, she stretched out her hand towards Sakura. Her eager and expectant gaze made Sakra's hair stand. Damn, this brat, he understood Dubhy Rabbit's intention. He had no choice. Who asked her to have something on him now? Although he knew she wouldn't tell anyone. Here, I don't have much of this. Lin Ray gave me a total of this much. Now, they are all in your stomach. She said with an unhappy look. Hee, I knew you would understand. After receiving the elixir bottle, he promised seriously, don't worry, I won't take it every day. At most, 2 days, no, 1.5 days. At most, I will look for you once every day and a half. All right. Towards the Dubhy Rabbit, Sakra had nothing but helplessness. In the depths of Xianming Valley, Lin Ray, who was trying his best to break through, didn't know that such an interesting thing was happening outside the valley. However, he couldn't even protect himself at this moment. Even he didn't expect the sudden awakening of his bloodline. At this moment, Lin Ray was in the former purple space. Other than purple, there was nothing else. The space was endless and very vast. Lin Ray, who was preparing to break through, felt the change in the surrounding energy. His heart jumped. He suddenly opened his eyes and scanned the surroundings. However, the scenery in front of him was no longer the same as before. Looking at the purple space he was in, Lin Ray's heart became serious. Lin Ray didn't feel safe at all when he suddenly appeared in this place, especially when he couldn't figure out why he was here. Getting up, he secretly operated his cultivation in his body and formed a seal in his hand. He was ready to react at any time if he encountered danger. Little dragon. Little dragon, now is not the time to pretend to be deep. Quickly come out and explain to me where this place is. Why did I appear here? Hurry up. The space was filled with silence, and the little dragon's voice didn't appear from beginning to end. It could be said that he couldn't receive the existence of the system and the little dragon at all. Damn, it can't be. This time, Lin Ray panicked. Although the little dragon also fell into a deep sleep before, he could still feel it. However, now, not only the little dragon couldn't sense it, even the system couldn't sense it. This was the first time in his history. Lin Ray's heart was uneasy and terrified. However, this emotion didn't last for long. A familiar energy appeared, as if it received a call from Lin Ray's heart. It rushed into Lin Ray's body. Damn, what the hell is this? Lin Ray was shocked by the surrounding energy. He quickly blocked all the pores in his body and the operation of his cultivation method. However, in the next moment, Lin Ray's expression changed greatly. Why is this happening? I clearly blocked all the pores in my body, meridians, and cultivation method. Why can this energy still rush into my body? And, his originally frightened expression couldn't help but feel that after the purple energy rushed into his body, it didn't destroy his body. On the contrary, it gave him a sense of peace. Chapter 957. The energy rushed into Lin Ray's body little by little, and the feeling of relief became more and more obvious. Although he did not understand why, Lin Ray liked this feeling very much. It was as if this energy was naturally his. Cultivation. However, although Lin Ray was intoxicated by this feeling, he did not lose his consciousness. He could clearly feel that after the energy rushed into his body, his cultivation was slowly increasing. Originally, he was in the middle stage of Ultimate God, but now, Lin Ray was sure that he could definitely step into the late stage of Ultimate God with just a little bit more energy. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect that I would break through in this mysterious purple space. Looking at the purple dreamland around him, a bitter smile appeared spontaneously. He felt that the energy in his body was getting denser and denser, and his originally concentrated attribute energy was slowly being assimilated by the purple energy, turning purple. Although Lin Ray wanted to stop it, no matter what he did, he still could not do it. He knew that he was helpless against this kind of energy. After trying a few more times, Lin Ray finally realized that he could not do it at all. Oh, forget it. Since I'm here, I'll just take it as it comes. Looking around, although he did not know where he was, the feeling of relief made Lin Ray let his guard down. He lifted his feet, looked for a direction, and then moved forward. In his opinion, instead of waiting in the same place, it was better to take the initiative to attack. Maybe he could get out this way. However, on the way forward, Lin Ray directly used the Devouring Heaven art in order to break through his cultivation as soon as possible. With the nature of the Devouring Heaven art, he could absorb the surrounding energy faster. In the instant that the Devouring the Heavens mantra was activated, more than 10 whirlpools of spiritual energy appeared around Linley. And this was just Linley intentionally using the Devouring the Heavens mantra. He was only using the first 3 levels of the Heaven's End grade technique. It was not that he did not want to use all of them, but he was still not sure if these energies were supporting the existence of this space. If they were not, then everything would be fine, but if these energies were really supporting the existence of this space. If he swallowed wantonly, the space would collapse and he would be in danger. Moreover, this place could isolate the system and the little dragon, so he had to be careful, otherwise, he would not even know how he died. Ta-ta-ta, the sound of footsteps could be heard all around him. Linley was already used to this sound, and right now, he was beginning to suspect that he was just walking in circles, and hadn't left this place at all. With this thought in mind, Zhang Xian took out a Supreme Grade God artifact from his storage ring and placed it on the ground. Then, he turned around and continued walking forward. As expected, after walking for a while, the divine weapon that he took out was lying peacefully in front of him. F***ck me. Are you kidding me? Looking at the divine weapon, Lin Ray's heart skipped a beat. Lin Ray was speechless about this space. The little dragon isn't here, and I don't even know what this thing is. What the hell am I supposed to do? At this moment, Lin Ray had already stopped in his tracks. Since he knew that he had been walking around in circles, he would really be an idiot if he continued to walk around like an idiot. After making up his mind, he sat down cross-legged and stopped thinking about it. He knew that no matter how he thought about it, he would not be able to leave. Since that was the case, he might as well focus on breaking through, especially the other realms. He wanted to break through here since he had no way of leaving. In the depths of the profound Hell Valley, where the Black Frost Dragon was, he was still glaring at his third brother. Even after so many years, his third brother was still looking at him with such vigilance, unwilling to relax for even a moment. How should he put it? Even his meals were sent in by his subordinates. In short, his eyes never left the Frost Wyrm. It was as if the Frost Wyrm would disappear if he looked at it. Whoosh, the two looked at each other, and the Black Frost Dragon was on the verge of collapse. He didn't expect his third brother's willpower to be so strong. He had truly underestimated him before. However, in this silent place, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard. A spirit light swooped down and stopped in front of his third brother. Ah, it seems I don't need to keep watching you here. Seeing the spirit light, his third brother's calm face revealed a smile and he reached his hand out. Whoosh! At the instant third brother's hand touched the spirit light, a figure appeared. The man was more than 8 feet tall, and even though he was wearing clothes, one could still feel the surging power in his muscles. On top of that, there was also an incredibly handsome face. Seeing this person appear, the smile on the third brother's face grew even wider. He said, "Boss, when did you come back? I'm sure you know what happened to the 6th brother. The 4th brother even wanted to kill me in order to avenge the 6th brother. I had no choice but to subdue him." After saying that, the 3rd brother pointed at C's Black Frost Dragon with a face full of hidden bitterness. "Oh? Is that so?" The man originally had a smile on his face when he saw his 2 younger brothers, but after hearing that they wanted to kill each other and had done so, his smile disappeared and was replaced with a gloomy coldness. Whoosh! When the cold face appeared, C felt the air around him tense up again, reaching a critical point. Although the man only used the dragon race's spirit light to send a message, this kind of spirit light carried a portion of the sender's power. Big brother, out of all the brothers, the black frost dragon feared the most was none other than the man in front of him, the golden dragon. Seeing the golden dragon's gloomy expression, the black frost dragon no longer had the courage to face his third brother. All that was left was panic and not knowing what to do. Do you remember what I said when we became sworn brothers? The golden dragon coldly scolded his fourth brother. I know. Facing the golden dragon's scolding, the black frost dragon's huge head suddenly shrank back. Then, it timidly said, "We can't kill each other. No matter what happens, we can't attack our brothers. This is the rule and also the promise between us." You knew and yet you still did that? The moment the black frost dragon finished speaking, the golden dragon chased after it and scolded it. His beard was blowing and his eyes were glaring at it. It was as if he was the king of the world. Feeling the golden dragon's anger, the black frost dragon stuttered for a while. In the end, it couldn't finish its sentence. On the other hand, his third brother, who had been watching without speaking, smiled and hurriedly stepped forward to mediate. That big brother, actually only did that because he was concerned about sixth brother. It's pardonable. Just forgive him this once. Moreover, sixth brother's death has really dealt us a heavy blow. Tell me, how should we deal with this? The black frost dragon, who had lowered its head in apology, hurriedly raised its head and agreed when it heard its third brother speaking up for it. That's right, big brother. You can't just ignore sixth brother's matter. Third brother said that the person who killed sixth brother must have a powerful cultivation. That's why we can only act after you all return. As it spoke, the black frost dragon sneaked a glance at the golden dragon and said timidly, "Big brother, you, second brother, and fifth brother, when will you all return? It's already been so many years." You what? Seeing that C had returned to normal, the golden dragon glared at him and said, "During this period of time, you'd better stay here obediently. If there's nothing else, don't leave your place. As for sixth brother's matter, we'll discuss it after I return with them. Remember, when I'm not around, don't mess around. Also." As he spoke, his gaze landed on his third brother and he continued, "When I'm not around, you three have to listen to everything. If he tells you to go east, you can't go west. If he tells you to shoot a bird, you can't catch a chicken. Do you understand? Remember my words. Otherwise, when I take revenge for sixth brother, I won't bring you along. Do you understand?" Although the black frost dragon really didn't want to listen to the golden dragon's words, it had no choice. After all, he was its big brother. If you understand, then hurry up and call me third brother. We're all brothers. Don't call me third brother every day. How improper. It wanted to refute, but when it saw the golden dragon horse's bell-sized eyes, it cowered. It turned to look at third brother and lowered its head. "Greetings, third brother. Please guide me in the future." Haha. Although it knew that it was its big brother's intention, it still didn't like it when C spoke to it in such a manner. But eventually, it nodded in agreement. All right. Before big brother returns, the two of us can only rely on each other. Then, a smile appeared on its face. Then, it turned to the golden dragon and said, "Big brother, don't worry. I will take good care of C during this period of time." All right, I'll talk to you guys later. I still have some matters to attend to. No, seeing that the golden dragon was about to die, the black frost dragon wanted to say something. But before it finished its sentence, the spiritual light disappeared. "Farewell, big brother." It turned to its third brother and didn't want to know what they were talking about. But it knew that its third brother had completely become a supervisor and one with a business license. All right, let's wait quietly for big brother and the others to return. So, don't make a fuss. It swept a glance at the black frost dragon from the corner of its eyes. Then, it went to the side and closed its eyes to rest. Even the shackles on the black frost dragon disappeared the moment it closed its eyes. It wasn't that Third wasn't worried. It was just that he knew how terrifying his big brother was. As long as he decided on something, no one would dare to go against his will. Someone who knew that there was a tiger in the mountain but still insisted on going to the mountain was irrational. He believed that the frost dragon was a smart person, a smart dragon. Of course, Linley didn't know about this. He didn't know that his momentary interest had attracted so many experts, all of whom were top-notch existences in the dragon race. However, right now, Linley was still quietly training within that violet region, unable to extricate himself from it. You actually came to the blood-purple dream realm with such strength? Not bad. A somewhat shrill voice, neither male nor female, rang out from all directions into Linley's ears, who was quietly seated on the ground, meditating. Who's talking? The voice came so suddenly that Lin Ray wasn't prepared for it at all. Coupled with the mysteries of the purple space, it would be a lie to say that Lin Ray wasn't frightened. How is it? The energy here isn't bad, isn't it? Doesn't it feel like a greater limit for a breakthrough? A peak ultimate god or even a saint? Do you want it? Linley regained his composure. That mysterious voice rang out once more, but Linley's heart had already regained its calm. He sat there, not moving at all. Glancing around, he said, "Who are you? Why should I believe you?" "Your Excellency, I don't believe in free lunch. Things that don't require effort usually come with a heavy price. So, tell me what you want." "Oh, I didn't expect you to be a smart kid." The mysterious voice wasn't surprised that Lin Ray saw through its plan. "Humph, don't beat around the bush. Who are you? Where is this place? What are you trying to do? What is this energy? Why do I feel at ease here? Also, One by one, they voiced out the doubts in their hearts. Humph. Don't beat around the bush. Good questions. The mysterious voice chuckled and explained to Lin Ray, "Actually, the questions you asked are very simple. After all, it's not a secret to you." Oh, Hongmeng's supreme body. You must be familiar with this term. How did you? Lin Ray was shocked. Ever since he knew he had this body, the little dragon had warned him not to let others know about it. However, someone pointed it out. Who else knows about it besides you? He looked around. With a touch of murderous intent, the Chaos Dragon Spear appeared in his hand. "Oh, do you think this will work on me? Also, your Hongmeng supreme body is mine. Do you think I don't know about it?" The mysterious voice sneered at Lin Ray's actions. "What? Your Hongmeng supreme body?" Lin Ray was shocked. He frowned and coldly said, "Do you think I'll believe you? Oh, Hongmeng's supreme body? If you say so, then I'll say I'm the Great Tao. Do you believe me?" Although Linley said that he didn't believe it, looking at his surroundings and the sense of security he felt from this place, he began to doubt it. Sigh. "It can't be helped if you don't believe me. I didn't believe that you're the successor of Hongmeng's supreme body either. After all, most of the people who can come here are geniuses. Even the weakest of them are cultivators who have stepped into the saint realm. However, you're only at the peak of middle stage ultimate god. It's unbelievable." "What do you mean?" "It's very simple. Most of the people who can come here are experts with Hongmeng's supreme body or cultivators who have entered the saint realm to awaken their bloodline. Even at that level, awakening the bloodline is a matter of risk and opportunity. What do you think the chances of a middle stage ultimate god cultivator awakening a bloodline that only saints have the chance to do?" Chapter 958. Lin Ray remained silent. His expression turned gloomy, and his brows knitted tightly together. Lin Ray took the mysterious man's words to heart. If what he said was true, then there was no need to know that the probability of successfully inheriting the bloodline was no more than 12%. In fact, this was already considered high. After all, the difference in strength was too huge. Even Lin Rei himself didn't have a chance. Besides, it was his first time inheriting the bloodline. He lifted his head and looked around with a determined expression. What do you mean by that? Of course, I don't believe that you're doing this for me. Lin Rei was very confident about this. Since the mysterious man said so, he knew that it wasn't simple. Tell me your purpose. Let me hear it. Heh. A cold laugh rang out from every direction, but towards this voice, Lin Li could only hear a bone-piercing coldness. It's simple. You're going to die anyway. So, why don't you give me your body so that I can inherit your will and live on? I will become the strongest existence and stand at the peak of the path. What do you think? I see. Lin Rei finally understood that the mysterious man was waiting for him here. But would Lin Rei agree to this condition? The answer was, of course, no. As Lin Rei, who controlled his fate and not the heavens, it was impossible for him to leave his fate in the hands of others. Even if the other party was his bloodline, it was still impossible. Besides, he never said that he couldn't inherit the power of the bloodline. Just a moment ago, Lin Rei thought of a solution. Since this was a bloodline space and there was so much energy in it, if he used the devouring heaven art to forcefully absorb all the energy here, perhaps the power of the bloodline would appear in his body. Just like the inner demon, as long as he got rid of the inner demon, there would be endless benefits. As for the devouring heaven art, Lin Rei was very confident. Previously, he only used 30% of it. If he activated the devouring heaven art completely, it was imaginable that such a huge bloodline space would face the scene of collapse soon. When that happened, it would become what Lin Rei imagined. How about it? What do you think of my conditions? Of course, after I inherit your body, I will inherit your family, relatives, friends, lovers, and everything you have. You, shut up. The mysterious man had already made plans for the future. Suddenly, Lin Li's face darkened and he scolded coldly, "Who do you think you are? God? Heh, sorry, I can't tell. Immortal? Sorry, you're not worthy. In my eyes, you are nothing, not even a bloodline. In my eyes, you are just a dirty worm hiding in a corner, something that doesn't dare to show its face. As for my friends and relatives, sorry, you're not worthy." Anne. As he said that, a cold smile appeared on his face. A cold light appeared in his eyes and a murderous aura burst out. Do you really think this space can trap me? Oh. The mysterious voice was suspicious. As he saw it, this was nothing more than Lin Li's deathbed struggle. He was extremely confident in this dimension. Heh. But now, you snorted coldly and your eyes became sharp. The hidden cultivation base was instantly released. Great perfection, intermediate, ultimate God. He was only one step away from a breakthrough. Suddenly, Lin Rei became energetic. Devouring heaven art, devour, with a cold snort, his body trembled as he activated the devourer of the heavens. Suddenly, a strange energy appeared around Lin Li. One enormous whirlpool of spiritual energy after another appeared, and a terrifying attractive force emerged from it. Huff, huff, time passed, bit by bit. Finally, the devouring heavens mantra was fully activated, and an enormous power began to take shape. Originally, it had only been able to devour a little bit of spatial energy. But now, it was different. With Lin Li's full power, the energy of the entire space began to gather around Lin Li. The speed and the purple energy in the space were visible to the naked eye. Hence, it had to be said that the space formed a very beautiful scene. It was like a dream. How is this possible? How did you do it? The mysterious voice was full of surprise. Obviously, he didn't expect this scene. Although he felt the devouring vortex before, the devouring speed of the vortex was too slow. However, the current vortex was different. If the previous vortex's devouring speed was twice as fast, then the current devouring heaven art was 100 times faster. One could imagine how terrifying it was. The moment the huge amount of energy entered his body, it was guided by Lin Rei into his Dan palace. With such a huge amount of energy, Lin Rei didn't keep all of it in his Dan palace. A portion of the energy was used by Lin Rei to refine his body. After all, so much energy couldn't be wasted. In Lin Rei's world, wasting was shameful. Hence, in order to not be a wasteful person, he didn't have the slightest bit of courtesy. Slowly, his cultivation base approached the critical point. Feeling that he was about to break through, Lin Rei's heart was filled with an indescribable excitement. As the saying goes, when one is happy, the other is sad. Lin Rei was happy because of his breakthrough, but the mysterious voice wasn't. According to Lin Rei's current devouring speed, it wouldn't take long for the space to collapse. At that time, would there still be a need for him to exist? No, it should be said that when the space collapsed, he would directly die and turn into nothingness. At this moment, he was afraid. He didn't have the arrogance from before. At this moment, he couldn't wait to kneel on the ground and kowtow to Lin Rei to ask him to be merciful. Soon, a little more. Just a little more and I'll be able to break through. Hurry. Feeling the critical point being drowned by the energy, Lin Rei was excited and nervous. Bang, boom. Suddenly, a muffled sound came from Lin Rei's body. At the same time, a terrifying energy shockwave rushed out in all directions. In the outside world, the little dragon, who was worried about Lin Rei, stared at Lin Rei, who was in the purple light with a nervous expression. Boom. However, just as the little dragon was mentally and physically exhausted, a terrifying energy rushed out from the halo. It was so fast and powerful that the little dragon was stunned. Then, after being stunned, he was delighted. That's right, he was delighted. He was very familiar with Lin Rei's aura. He was very sure that the energy shockwave that rushed out just now belonged to Lin Rei. From the energy shockwave, he could determine that Lin Rei had broken through and entered the late-stage ultimate god realm. Hey, kid, you really don't let me worry at all. Although he said so, the joy and happiness on his face were completely exposed, and he had no intention of hiding it at all. Chapter 959. With Lin Li's breakthrough, Xiaolong could finally relax. Although he didn't know if the threat of Lin Li's bloodline awakening had passed or not, to be able to make a breakthrough in his cultivation level while his bloodline awakening was undoubtedly proof of Lin Li's strength. Boy, I hope you're doing well. TSK. Really, I wonder what will happen when your bloodline is fully awakened. He raised his head and looked at the sky as if he could see through everything. His expression was full of evil charm. Back then, when the guy with the supreme bloodline of Hongmeng awakened his bloodline for the first time, the bloodline skill he got was blood explosion. A smile appeared on his face as if he thought of something interesting. Within the paramount dream, Lin Li, who had just made a breakthrough, recovered from his excitement. Opening his eyes, he lowered his head to look at his own body. Finally made a breakthrough. I didn't expect that this breakthrough would take so long. Clearly, Lin Li wasn't very satisfied with the time he took to break through. However, if those old fogies from the Holy Lands and the Divine World were to find out about his thoughts, they would probably rush down and give him a few tight slaps. After all, acting tough would attract hatred. Of course, this was from Lin Rei's point of view. If a mid-ultimate god cultivator wanted to break through to the late ultimate god realm, it would take a long time. Lin Rei only took 100 years. If it was an ordinary person, it would take at least 10,000 years or even 10,000 years. Some people with poor aptitude even took hundreds of thousands of years to break through to the late ultimate god realm. After breaking through, Lin Rei felt that he could still improve further. He did not hesitate and decided to go back to cultivating. After all, it was not easy to find such a sacred place for cultivation. Big brother. No, sir, please stop devouring. If you continue, this space will not be able to hold on. A scream came from the side. The mysterious man's voice appeared again. However, this time, his voice was not arrogant like before. Instead, it was filled with helplessness and compromise. He glanced around and sneered. Why should I stop devouring just because you said so? What do you think I am? No, however. Originally, the mysterious man thought that Lin Rei's attitude would be very vague, but who knew that in the next moment, Lin Rei's tone changed drastically. If you tell me how to truly perfectly awaken my bloodline and help me, I guarantee that I will immediately help. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the mysterious man was speechless. He had thought that Lin Rei would be especially insistent, but who would have thought? However, the mysterious man was relieved. After all, he didn't want the place he lived in to be destroyed just like that. At the side, Lin Rei saw that the mysterious man was silent. He felt anxious in his heart, but there was no trace of anxiety on his face. How about it? If you think this suggestion is good, then say it and help me awaken my bloodline. If not, then, as he spoke, huge vortexes appeared around him. However, no devouring power was emitted from them. Help. I'll definitely help. I'll definitely help. Looking at the spirit energy vortex around Lin Rei, the mysterious person directly voted without waiting for Lin Rei to speak. Yes, I've been waiting for you to say that. The mysterious man agreed readily. A smile appeared on his face, and he waved his hand. Instantly, the huge devouring vortexes around him disappeared instantly. This scene made the mysterious man heave a sigh of relief. After all, his home was saved. Say it. After preparing everything, he looked up and said coldly. He didn't have the slightest good attitude towards the mysterious man. After all, after the previous incident, he was very disgusted with the mysterious man. Okay. The mysterious man didn't dare to refute Lin Rei's request. He immediately said, actually, it's very simple to awaken your bloodline. It's just that you've made it too complicated. Oh. Yes, that's indeed the case. Looking at Lin Rei, the mysterious man continued, look at the energy around you. You should be able to feel at ease from the energy. This means that you have Hongmeng's sovereign body, so you only need to guide the energy into your bloodline and let it be fully activated to awaken your bloodline. Of course, if you want to awaken the perfect bloodline, the pain you have to endure will be multiplied. After all, blood is very important to a person, especially the blood essence. So simple and direct? There are no other steps. Lin Rei felt a little incredulous. After all, the little dragon had told him how powerful the Hongmeng's sovereign bloodline was. But now, after hearing the method to awaken the bloodline, Lin Rei hesitated. Although he didn't believe the mysterious man's method, when he thought of his devouring ability, he hesitated for a moment. Blood, as the foundation of a person, especially the existence of the blood essence. If he didn't take care of it properly, what awaited him was death. Are you sure this is the method to awaken the bloodline? It wasn't that Lin Rei didn't believe it, but this method was too unimaginable. Yes, I'm 100% sure. The mysterious man's answer was very resolute and firm. However, the process of awakening the bloodline will be very painful. After all, this is stimulating the existence in your blood that hasn't been awakened yet. Especially the blood essence, you have to be very, very, very careful because it can endanger your life at any time. After receiving confirmation, Lin Rei felt helpless. But when he thought about the bloodline awakening, Lin Rei's 1,000 years of calm heart couldn't help but have a slight ripple. Oh, right. What's wrong? After the bloodline awakening, there will be some unique bloodline battle techniques, and these battle techniques will appear as the bloodline's grade increases. Hearing this, Lin Rei was puzzled. Bloodlines have grades? But why didn't the little dragon tell him? In fact, after the bloodline awakening, the bloodline will be upgraded according to the master's cultivation in the future. Every time the bloodline is upgraded, there will be a bloodline skill. These bloodline skills are very powerful, not at all inferior to the world's top battle techniques. But just like the bloodline, the master's strength determines the strength of the battle techniques. Hearing this, Lin Rei was surprised and asked shamelessly, "Then how are the bloodline grades divided?" You don't know." "I don't know, that's why I'm asking you." Looking around, Lin Rei couldn't help but roll his eyes. That's true." Although the mysterious man hated Linley to the core, under Linley's tyrannical abuse, the mysterious man had no choice but to patiently explain. Bloodlines are divided into mortal grade, king grade, royal grade, venerable grade, emperor grade, saint grade, transcendent grade, and finally Tao grade. There will be a corresponding battle technique for every grade. But if you want to upgrade it, it depends on the level. You still have a long way to go. Chapter 960. Although it was just hearsay and he did not know if it was true, the blood in his veins started to boil when he heard what the mysterious man said. It felt like it was going to break through his meridians. His fighting spirit rose bit by bit as his blood boiled. Although it was not very fast, it soared to the sky as if it was about to break through the heavens. "Oh, I'm really looking forward to it." Feeling the excitement and fighting spirit coming from his bloodline, Lin Rei knew that his bloodline was ready to be awakened. This also meant that he could start to awaken his bloodline. He looked around with a cold and excited gaze. "You can start now. I hope what you said is true. Don't disappoint me." Although he knew that it came from the boiling of his bloodline, he was not 100% sure about the method that the mysterious man said. He contacted the chaotic dragon spear with a trace of vigilance and told them that if anything happened while he was awakening his bloodline, they should immediately take action and break through this world. Although he did not know where this place was or who the mysterious man was, he believed that the 9 ancestral dragons were very powerful. During the primeval age, the ancestral dragon could fight evenly with Hongjun. If Hongjun had not transformed into Tao at that time, it was hard to say who would be controlling the world now. Although the ancestral dragon was only in the state of a dragon soul now, its realm was not to be underestimated. In addition, there were 9 ancestral dragons in the chaotic dragon spear. If the 9 ancestral dragons attacked with all their strength, Hongjun would not dare to say anything about their power. Of course, this was only when they fought with their lives on the line. Otherwise, Lin Rei would not be willing to let the 9 ancestral dragons fight with their lives on the line. Wang. In the system, the chaotic dragon spear shook violently when it heard Lin Rei's order. It agreed. Lin Rei was relieved. After everything was settled, Lin Rei could finally start to awaken his bloodline. Although he looked calm on the surface, his heart was in turmoil. After all, after awakening his bloodline, his strength would increase by another level. Now, Lin Rei was confident that he could defeat a Tao fruit sage in the Great Perfection realm. If he broke through his bloodline, then, thinking about it, a smile appeared on his face, and a hint of determination flashed in his eyes. "Let's begin. Let me see how painful it is." In order to become stronger, in order to be able to protect the people he wanted to protect, no matter how painful it was, he had to endure it. Moreover, Lin Rei did not think that this kind of pain would be a problem for him. After all, he had experienced the system's punishment before. That kind of power, TSK. Thinking about it, Lin Rei couldn't help but shiver. Thinking about it, Lin Rei felt pain all over his body. He didn't want that to happen again. Once again, congratulations on awakening your bloodline. However, let's make it clear that after you awaken your bloodline, you must not absorb any more energy from the highest dream space. Otherwise, this place really will cease to exist, he said to Lin Rei in a pleading tone. Sure, Lin Rei replied without even thinking. However, we'll have to see if I've truly given up on my bloodline. If I awaken my bloodline, I can agree to your request. However, if I fail to awaken my bloodline and end up dying, then regardless of whether I live or die, I guarantee that all the energy here, including this space of yours, will cease to exist in the next moment. he didn't dare to have any other thoughts, nor did he dare to act presumptuously. After all, Lin Rei was the one with the highest authority right now. Seeing that the mysterious person didn't say anything, he sneered and made his decision. He circulated the primal chaos heavenly spell and activated the devouring heavenly spell. However, this time, he didn't have the feeling of plundering like before. Gravitational force into my body. Following the method given by the mysterious person, Lin Rei, with the help of the devouring heavenly spell, drew a small amount of purple energy into his body to awaken his bloodline. Of course, Lin Rei had his own selfish reasons for doing so. After all, he still didn't know what the outcome of the eggs would be. With such a small amount of energy, if something happened, he could withdraw at any time. On the other hand, if there were disadvantages, there would naturally be advantages. Just like what the mysterious person said earlier, if he didn't withdraw when things didn't go his way, was he supposed to stay and drink tea instead? However, if this matter was really as the mysterious person said, Lin Rei didn't say anything and withdrew from the space. The moment the gravitational force entered his bloodline, it was still fine. When his blood collided with the purple energy, it was warm. Lin Rei smiled at this. However, the next moment, it was completely different. The smile was replaced by a blood-curdling scream. The sinister look on his face was as frightening as an ancient corpse. Cold sweat couldn't be stopped. It was like rain falling from Lin Rei's forehead. Feeling the piercing pain, Lin Rei only felt that he had been cheated. The pain surged to the extreme along with his will. He was very angry, and a murderous intent welled up in his heart. No, this is, stunned. Just as Lin Rei was about to make his move, a strange energy came from the place where the purple energy merged with his bloodline. This energy made Lin Rei feel very comfortable and very powerful. Carefully feeling the changes in his blood, a smile appeared on his face. At the same time, a hint of guilt flashed through his mind. Just now, he thought that he had been cheated and was going to kill someone. Now, let alone anyone, Lin Rei couldn't be happier. Feeling the part of his bloodline that merged with the purple energy, the pain gradually disappeared. Instead, endless benefits emerged. Wonderful. It seemed this method was the correct one. Just by activating a small portion of his bloodline, he was able to reveal such a powerful aura. What would happen if he fully activated it? Lin Li didn't even dare to imagine. I didn't lie to you. Suddenly, Lin Rei, who was in a state of excitement, heard the mysterious person's voice. A smile appeared on his face. He said, I'm not sure yet. Let's just wait and see. After saying that, Lin Rei didn't have the chance to talk to the mysterious person. He sat down cross-legged again and used the devouring heaven spell to guide the purple energy into his body. However, this time, it was still a little. It wasn't because Lin Rei didn't want to guide a large amount, but because he felt the pain just now. It was better to be safe. As the saying goes, slow work produces fine work. Anyway, Lin Rei's time was up. Of course, this was for him who had broken through to the late stage of Supreme God. As the gravitational force entered his body, a heart-wrenching, bone-piercing pain constantly surged through his body. It was as if tens of thousands of ants were gnawing at his body. But at the same time, Lin Li discovered that although the process of activating his bloodline was extremely painful, the benefits were also considerable. He could sense that his body was gradually strengthening. Again. It's still not enough. Again. Little by little, Lin Rei began the process of awakening his bloodline. Although it was painful, the benefits were proportional. He was willing to endure even more pain. Time passed little by little. It was like a white steed flitting by a crack. It had been a few years since Lin Rei broke through to the bloodline awakening process. During these years, the little dragon appeared several times, especially when it felt Lin Rei's aura growing stronger. The little dragon expressed its happiness for him. After a period of time, the little dragon returned to the system. However, it was still able to sense the outside world. After all, Lin Rei was the only one here. It wouldn't be good if something went wrong during the bloodline awakening. Chapter 961. As Lin Rei's aura grew stronger and stronger, the speed at which it rose also increased. At the same time, time also passed along with Lin Rei's super strength. 89%. At this moment, in the space, Lin Rei sat on the ground, devouring the purple energy to awaken his bloodline. Feeling that there was still 11% of his bloodline that hadn't been awakened, Lin Rei became anxious. After such a long time, Lin Rei's absorption speed became faster and faster, and the amount of fusion also increased. At first, it was just a little bit, but then it slowly increased. Until now, Lin Rei was devouring the energy in the dream space at the speed of a whale. However, as time passed, Lin Rei felt that his bloodline had a trace of rejection towards the energy. As more and more of his bloodline was awakened, the amount of purple energy needed also increased exponentially. At this moment, although the remaining 11% of his bloodline seemed small, the amount of purple energy needed to awaken this bloodline was more than 20 times that of the previous 89%. Lin Rei felt very helpless about this, but there was nothing he could do. If he wanted to awaken the perfect bloodline, how could he not pay a price? Swallow for me. As he spoke, an enormous gravitational force appeared. Instantly, with Linli at the center, all of the violet energy within a kilometer was locked down by the gravitational force, and then was swallowed into Linli's body. Ah, a familiar feeling of pain welled up in his heart, but Linli had already become numb to this sort of pain. Hurry up, hurry up. Feeling that the road ahead was getting more and more difficult, Lin Rei's heart was anxious. At the entrance of Xianming Valley, Lin Rei didn't know that when he broke through, Sakura at the entrance also received many benefits because of him. But unlike Lin Rei, Sakura only felt the increase in his cultivation and quality. His body was still the same as before, with purple light appearing from inside out, revealing a sacred feeling. In the few years that Lin Rei disappeared, everyone was basically used to Sakura's existence. My cultivation has reached the peak hierarch realm and has reached the critical point. It seems that I have to find another way to break through. Sakura, who was sitting cross-legged on the ground and resting with his eyes closed, spat out a mouthful of turbid air. It could be seen from his voice and face that he was a little disappointed that he hadn't broken through to the sage realm or semi-sage realm. However, this disappointment disappeared in a flash. Not bad. You've broken through to the great perfection ultimate god realm, and your energy quality has also increased by a level. TSK, not bad. You can even break through while sitting down. As expected, cultivators with bloodlines are really favored by the heavens. From afar, seeing that Sakura had withdrawn his cultivation technique, the heavenly pivot rabbit immediately went to investigate. However, the final result of the investigation made the heavenly pivot rabbit smack its tongue. The jealousy in his expression was so blatant that it was not concealed in the slightest. Oh, really? Hearing the Dubhy rabbit's words, Sakura came back to his senses. The corner of his mouth slightly curled, and a bitter smile appeared. Others didn't know, but he knew very well that he was able to make a breakthrough in his cultivation and improve the quality of his energy. This was all thanks to Lin Rei. If it wasn't for him, it would have taken him some time to make a breakthrough. Lin Rei. Lin Rei has been gone for 8 years. Sweeping his eyes over everyone, Sakura suddenly spoke. In the end, his eyes were fixed on Ing and Bing. He knew that the two of them were the most worried. That's right. It's been 8 years since the 21st day of March. We don't know what our husband is doing. It's nothing. He's been gone for such a long time. Ing and Bing spoke at the side. Their expressions were full of sadness and worry. I plan to enter the Xianming Valley to look for Lin Rei. Although I know he's fine, I still want to go and have a look. I'll go with you. I'll go too. Sakura was stunned by their response. He then frowned and said, Don't go. Just wait outside the Xianming Valley. What if we all go in and Lin Rei can't find us when he comes out? It wasn't that he didn't want everyone to go together. It was just that with Lin Rei's current situation, he didn't want others to see what happened to Lin Rei because it was related to his life. Although there was Lin Rei's aura, it still wasn't okay. Hongmeng's honorable bloodline was very important. To be safe, he made this decision. There's no need to stop us from following. Our strength isn't comparable to yours. Tian Ning wasn't willing. Ever since she came out from the Butterfly Valley, she had never separated from Sakura. Perhaps it had become a habit. She was used to having Sakura by her side. But now that Sakura wanted to leave, how could she allow it? Yes, I want to go too. It just so happens that I want to see how many elixirs Lin Rei has. Since he can give you so many, maybe Lin Rei will directly give you 100 or 80 elixirs. Just thinking about it made Dubhy Rabbit so excited. If she could really get it, wouldn't it be great? It wasn't enough. Imagination was beautiful, but reality was cruel. No matter how much Dubhy Rabbit fantasized, Sakura's explanation was only one word: no. Seeing that everyone wanted to follow him one by one, Sakura ignored them all and finally decided to move forward by himself. Alright, you guys don't need to say any more. If I can find Lin Rei, I will definitely bring him back immediately. You guys can rest assured. In order to not continue listening to the little dragon's nagging, Sakura decisively teleported and rushed into Xianming Valley. Lin Rei didn't know about Sakura's actions. At this moment, Lin Rei was at the heart of the storm. 99%. Under the support of Devouring Heaven Art, the bloodline perfection reached 99%. Lin Rei was very confident about the remaining 1%. AI. Seems like an amazing person came this time. Although the awakening time is a bit long, but... At this moment, the mysterious person secretly said in his heart. As he spoke, he scanned the surrounding space. The originally dense fog-like space was now extremely bland. Looking at this, the mysterious man smiled bitterly. With the current situation, I'm afraid it will take a long time for it to completely return to its original state. Unfortunately, Lin Rei couldn't hear the helplessness in his words. At this moment, Lin Rei was desperately plundering the surrounding energy. Soon, a bit more. Looking at that bit of unawakened bloodline, Lin Rei's heart became anxious. After working hard for so long, it was finally time to pay off. The purple energy poured into his body and was guided to the last bit of bloodline to start fusing. Right away, it's almost done. Thinking, Lin Rei exerted force and forcibly compressed the plundered energy and bloodline to the extreme. Ah! A blood-curdling scream came from Lin Rei's mouth. His complexion instantly turned deathly pale and tears fell like rain. His expression was extremely terrifying. Boom! A terrifying energy rushed out from Lin Rei's body and rushed in all directions. It was endless, as if this energy was inexhaustible. Chapter 962. The tearing feeling made Lin Rei feel unbearable pain, and he even had the thought of dying at this moment. Whether it was his meridians, skin, or bones, they were all being squeezed by the released energy. Lin Rei was sure that this kind of pain was several times more painful than what he had endured before. F***ck, if I knew it would be like this, I wouldn't have been so eager for quick success, sigh. He sighed, his heart was full of regret, but it was too late to regret. After all, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Hiss, it really hurts. He stretched out his hand to feel the pain as if his flesh was being cut and his bones scraped. His cheeks were pale and bloodless, the veins on his forehead bulged, and sweat flowed down like water. Despite this, Lin Rei was still conscious. He knew that he couldn't faint in this situation, and he didn't dare to. He was afraid that if he fainted, he would never wake up again. F***ck, I won't act so rashly in the future. He sighed in his heart. If the little dragon was here and heard these words, it would probably laugh non-stop. Not for other reasons, but because Lin Ray had said these words so many times that the little dragon didn't want to talk about it anymore. Suppress it for me. Suddenly, Lin Ray released his cultivation to suppress this kind of energy. There was no other way, this kind of energy was powerful and violent. If it wasn't dealt with in time, then the final result was that his meridians would be broken, and even his body would be branded with the root of the illness. Maybe because of today's matter, his cultivation path would stop here in the future. However, to Linley's disappointment, even though he had used all of his strength and cultivation, he discovered that it had no effect on the terrifying energy emitted by the bloodline. It didn't even cause the slightest ripple. It was like a stone sinking into the sea. What's going on? What is this kid doing? The little dragon, who had been paying attention to the outside world, suddenly appeared in front of this terrifying and violent energy, and then its figure separated from the system and went to the outside world. His gaze fell on Lin Ray's body. At this moment, Lin Ray's body was no longer in a sitting position. His entire body was curled up like a shrimp, and he looked very pitiful. But now, the little dragon didn't mock him like before. Looking at Lin Ray's pale face, the little dragon wasn't in the mood to mock him. Instead, it was full of concern and worry. Bastard brat, what kind of heinous thing did you do to put yourself in such a state? Feeling the powerful energy rushing out of Lin Ray's body, the little dragon clicked its tongue. *CK, the energy of this bloodline is so powerful. Back then, I had to cultivate for a long time when I was like this. You are really, the little dragon didn't know what to say to Lin Ray's reaction. He was really helpless against the Hongmeng bloodline. After all, this bloodline rarely appeared. No, it should be said that it was the only one in 100 trillion. Looking at the extent of Lin Ray's pain and the surrounding energy released, it had no choice but to bite the bullet and look for the system. Come out and take a look. Your host is dying. If you don't help, I'm afraid that you will only leave behind a physical body. The little dragon had always been like this towards the system. As for the words that mentioned Lin Ray, it couldn't be helped. After all, the only hope now was the system. Hey, you won't really not help, right? For a long time, the system didn't speak. For a moment, the little dragon was anxious. It glanced at Lin Ray, then turned to the system and growled. Think carefully. If the little dragon doesn't help in his current state, he will die in the end. Can you really bear to see that? Besides, the little dragon didn't give up. Besides, the Hongmeng bloodline is an existence that won't appear easily in 100 trillion years. If he dies this time, it will be impossible for you to find another one. What do you think? The series of words chilled the system. Looking at the little dragon's anxious look, the system smiled silently and said, You are right, but there will be no rainbow without rain and rain. A baby eagle will learn to soar by itself sooner or later, just like Lin Ray. The more you protect him meticulously and appear when he is hurt, the more you can only make him fulfill his promise and become dependent on you, so, damn it. Are you going to help or not? Why are you talking so much nonsense at this time? The little dragon couldn't listen to the system's nonsense at all. At this moment, he only knew that Lin Ray was in danger and the only one who could come into contact with this situation was the system. I'm not helping. I've already spoken. Let him get through it by himself. This way, the benefits for him are endless, so, I'm not helping. After saying that, the system disappeared immediately. Xiaolong was left standing alone in front of Linley, unable to do anything but feel helpless and anxious. How could he not understand the logic that the system said? But when he saw Lin Ray in pain, he couldn't help but want to help. Come back. After you come back, I'll seal the system so that you can't see or hear Lin Ray's situation. Don't worry, Lin Ray will be fine. If he can't even pass such a simple thing, then... At this point, the system paused and then continued. If he can't even pass such a simple thing, then I don't need to waste any more time on him. I'll just leave or kill him and then go find another Hongmeng sovereign body in the universe. Damn it. The system was so cold that the little dragon was a little uncomfortable. Especially after hearing the word kill, he knew that this matter could only rely on Lin Rei himself. Sigh. Boy, I'm going in first. You have to hang in there or I won't let you go. Looking at Lin Rei, the little dragon finally followed the system and disappeared in front of Lin Rei. At this moment, only Lin Rei was left in the open space. At this moment, he was suffering unspeakably in the space. I believe you can do it. This Hongmeng sovereign aura has stayed here for a long time. If you can successfully absorb it, maybe I won't be trapped here for so long. He looked at Linley expectantly. The mysterious man was filled with anticipation towards Linley. Although there had been some unpleasantness earlier, and it could even be said that they didn't have anything in common, so what? After all, those people have already received their punishment. I don't need it. Huff huff. Huff huff, little by little, feeling the violent energy conflict, Lin Rei's heart jumped, and then a crazy idea appeared in his mind. Forget it, I can't care so much. When he saw that the meridians in his body were about to be completely broken, Lin Rei was stunned and smiled bitterly. It seems that I have to go all out. Lin Rei understood that he had no way out now. Not for anything else, but because he couldn't afford to pay. Seal for me. Suddenly, a series of incomparably illusory magical seals appeared in Linley's hands. As soon as the magical seals appeared, the violent energy in the surrounding area lessened slightly. Although it wasn't that obvious, at least it wasn't as violent as before. This gave him some time to recover. It seems that I have to go all out. Sensing that the berserk aura around him had subsided, Linley didn't hesitate at all. With a wave of his hand, the previously empty space was suddenly filled with countless bottles and jars. Fortunately, I prepared some recovery pills before coming in. Otherwise, it would really be over today. A hint of a smile appeared on his face. Linley's heart was filled with delight, because of his foresight. If the little dragon knew that Lin Rei was like this, it would probably rush out of the system in anger and kill him later. Feeling a little better, Lin Rei began swallowing pills to recover. At the same time, in the depths of the Black Frost Dragon's lair, it wasn't just him and OL3, but 5 people. Of course, that included him. The 5 of them looked at each other with grave expressions. In the end, 4 of them looked at the middle-aged man. Their expressions were full of respect, as if he was their backbone. Boss, what do you think we should do? At this moment, Old Third spoke. Yes, boss. The Black Frost Dragon impatiently said, OL6 revenge has been dragged on for so many years. Tell me, are we still going to get revenge? If you say no, then I'll leave right now. After all, OL6 was the closest to me when he was alive. I can't just ignore him. Seeing the Black Frost Dragon so impatient, the Golden Dragon smiled and nodded. You're still so impatient. That's right, see. On the side, the youth who had been silent all this time finally opened his mouth and lectured the Black Frost Dragon. Boss didn't say he wasn't going to take revenge. Look at you. Do you think Old Sixth is just your brother? Old Sixth is also our brother. Our hearts aren't any more relaxed than yours. That's right, fourth brother. A young man stuck his head out from the side and said with a smile, we must avenge sixth brother, but we have to listen to big brother on this. Of course, if you think you're a match for the other party, fine, I won't stop you. But have you thought about what if the other party's strength is beyond your imagination? What will you do? Go accompany OL6. Do you think that's realistic? The Black Frost Dragon was stunned. He knew they were right, but he couldn't help it. He'd endured for so many years. He didn't want to endure it any longer. Sigh. See, you don't need to be like this. We must get revenge for OL6, but before that, we have to go see someone. See someone? Hearing the golden dragon's words, not only the black frost dragon, but the others were also stunned. They really didn't understand. Understanding their confusion, the golden dragon said, I sensed a very powerful aura earlier. For the safety of our clansmen, we have to go take a look. After this matter is over, we'll go get revenge for OL6. He was afraid that OL4 wouldn't agree, so the golden dragon looked at him with a pleading expression. He wanted to refuse, but the entire clan had put him on a pedestal. What else could he do? In the end, the black frost dragon nodded helplessly. Fine, you're the boss. You're awesome. I won't be stubborn with you. Hee hee. Alright, since you've agreed on this matter, let's not delay any longer. It's better to be early than late. Let's go. Right now? Seeing that they were going to set off now, everyone was stunned. They hadn't expected their big brother to be in such a hurry. Nonsense, you didn't sense that kind of energy. You might not know, but even the old patriarch couldn't help but tremble and want to submit after sensing that terrifying energy. What do you think? Hiss. A gasp came from the side. In response, the golden dragon glanced at everyone and smiled. Then, without saying anything, it turned around and turned into a golden dragon that was hundreds of feet long and disappeared from everyone's sight in an instant. I'll go. Boss, wait for me. Yeah, let's go together. One dragon after another soared into the sky and charged in the direction the golden dragon had gone. Their speed was astonishing. The golden dragon didn't know that the person he was looking for was the person who had killed their OL6. If he knew, he would probably be stupefied. Looking at Linley, the aura around him was slowly returning to normal. In front of him, the bottles and jars had all been opened, and within them, not a single pill was left. All of them had entered Linley's stomach and been refined. Phew, he let out a long breath. After refining the last pill, his strength had almost recovered. He believed that it wouldn't be long before he broke through again and reached a new height. Bloodline, finally awakened. The perfect bloodline power, TSK, it's indeed extraordinary. Although there was still the violent power of the bloodline around him, Lin Ray believed that as long as he was given time, sooner or later, this power would all be his. Phew, you can finally leave. My good days are finally coming. Seeing that Lin Ray had successfully broken through, the mysterious man seemed to be eager for him to leave. However, Lin Ray didn't pursue the matter too much. Alright, I'll return this place to you. I'm going out. Maybe we won't see each other again. It's good that we won't see each other. That way, no one will get hurt. The world will become so beautiful. Understanding the mysterious man's meaning, Lin Ray didn't expose him. Alright, I won't banter with you anymore. Goodbye. After saying that, according to the mysterious man's idea, he closed his eyes and calmed his heart. With a thought, he felt that the world was getting better. This feeling came and went quickly. It didn't take long for it to disappear completely. Everyone felt very awkward about it. In reality, Lin Ray, who was lying on the ground, moved his eyes. A beautiful figure appeared in front of him. Lin Ray was very happy about it. That's not right. Who is he? Why is he here? And why am I here? Realizing that something was wrong, Lin Ray wanted to get up and check it out. However, as soon as he straightened his body, his cheeks turned red. It turned out that when Lin Ray was about to sit up, his clothes were all taken off. Of course, Lin Ray was still ruthless when it came to his important clothes. Chapter 963. F***CK. He shouted out loud. As the saying goes, if one's ovaries were to be heavenly, one would be unremarkable for 10,000 years. However, he wasn't even dead yet and his ovaries were already heavenly. Was this F***king a joke? Although he was extremely displeased with his bloodline, he could only choose to be helpless in the end. After all, the bloodline was his. What was this called? He could only swallow his broken teeth. He did it himself, so he couldn't blame anyone else. However, the most important thing right now was, who the F*ck was this person in front of him? Looking at this beautiful little girl in front of him, Lin Ray was slightly vigilant. Just now, Lin Ray noticed that this little girl's body was emitting a gentle light. Furthermore, her cultivation wasn't strong. At most, she was only at the divine ancestor realm. However, this kind of cultivation was already very good for her age in the outside world. In the outside world, she could be considered as a proud daughter of heaven, a saintess of a sect. Big brother, why are you naked? Daddy said that this isn't good. You have to be good. Don't be like this. Otherwise, Daddy will spank you. Looking at Linley, the little girl's large, beautiful eyes blinked, looking extremely adorable. Especially those lively eyes of hers, they made Linley's heart clench. But in the next moment, to Linley's utter shame, after the little girl finished speaking, she took out a piece of her own clothing and covered it over Linley's body. F*ck, what is this? Looking at the little girl's actions in a daze, Lin Ray's cheeks became even redder. The redness on his white cheeks was very obvious. F*ck, I actually. Looking at the little girl, Lin Ray had the thought of finding a hole to hide in. Suddenly, he came back to his senses and grabbed at the side. A terrifying spirit energy soared into the sky and swarmed towards Lin Ray. Transform. With a roar, the spiritual energy seemed to have received Linley's command. It flowed along Linley's arm and flowed throughout his body. Finally, with a shake of his body, the spiritual energy that was originally concentrated on his body instantly condensed and transformed into a long gown. Although the style was old-fashioned and the color was very monotonous, there was nothing he could do. Now that this little sister of unknown origins was looking at him, coupled with her previous actions, Lin Ray had no choice but to do this. Wow, big brother, you're so powerful. You're much more powerful than my father. My father doesn't know this illusion spell. Usually, little girls would be very envious of these flashy spells. Of course, Lin Ray had to admit that this spell was somewhat useful. After all, it indirectly helped him. Of course, that was all. Seeing the longing in the little girl's beautiful eyes, Lin Ray was stunned. He smiled bitterly and said, I say, little girl, you should hurry back. It's very dangerous here. Moreover, didn't your father tell you not to talk to strangers? Aren't you afraid that I'm a bad person? With that, his expression suddenly changed. The original wry smile and helplessness disappeared. It was replaced by a fierce and cold expression. If Ruoying and others saw him again, they would definitely say that this was their husband. I'm not afraid. 2 words. When the little girl said these 2 words, Lin Ray was completely defeated. Lin Ray could feel that the little girl's eyes were very clean. There was no meaning in her hard and fierce expression, so although there was still a touch of vigilance towards her, it was not like before. Big brother, can you teach me that spell just now? My father didn't practice it at all. He said that I don't need it and so on. Except for the needs of the tribe, he didn't let me learn anything else. Huh? Tribe? Lin Ray was stunned. Generally, only demon beasts would talk about the tribe. For a moment, Lin Ray couldn't help but open his Rinnegan and looked at the little girl in front of him. F*ck. In the next moment, Lin Ray was shocked. How is this a little girl? Just now, he felt that something was wrong. Why would there be such a little girl in the depths of the Xianming Valley? Now, he understood that she was not a human, but a dragon that had been living here for a long time. However, this was not enough to shock Lin Ray. What really shocked Lin Ray was that the little girl's true form was a 5-clawed golden dragon. This was a very noble symbol in the dragon race. He still remembered that Xiao Jin told him that the five-clawed golden dragon was the emperor of the dragon race. So, who is your father in the dragon race? But when he saw that the little girl's true form was a five-clawed golden dragon, he had already guessed something. Big brother, you know that I'm from the dragon race? The little girl was surprised by Lin Rei's straightforwardness. It's hard not to know. How can a human say the word tribe? Moreover, this is the Xianming Mountain. A little girl on a mission is only in the divine ancestor realm. Do you think she can come here? The little girl had a look of understanding. You're right. Hello, my name is Ling Long. My father gave me this name. Isn't it nice? Nice, Ling Long. He must want you to be a happy person. Otherwise, he wouldn't give you such a name. Seeing this little girl like this, Lin Li couldn't help but think of his own son, his eldest son, Jin En. Back then, Jin En was just like Ling Long, lively and cute. But, Lin Li's emotions began to spread through his body. As a member of the dragon race, Exquisite had an innate ability to sense the heavens and the earth. Thus, she could easily sense the compassion emanating from Lin Li. Big brother, what's wrong? Ling Long asked timidly as she looked at Lin Rei. And nothing. Ling Long's voice woke him up. He immediately threw the grief in his heart to the back of his mind. Really, if he had a chance, he wouldn't let anything happen to his wife and children. But it was too late. After thousands of years, they would have turned into a pile of dirt. Seeing Lin Rei's appearance, Ling Long turned her attention. Big brother, what's your name? What are you doing here? It's been a long time since a human came to our Xianming Valley. You're here because, Ling Long wanted to attract Lin Rei's attention. Lin Rei understood and replied with a smile, it's nothing, I'm just looking for something. Once I find it, I will leave. I won't cause any harm to the dragon race. Of course, if those ignorant fools come looking for trouble, then they can't blame me. Because, I'm doing this in self-defense. Lin Rei didn't say this in front of Ling Long. Big brother, you. Seeing Lin Li's face suddenly turn solemn, Exquisite was startled. She subconsciously took a step back. She could sense that Lin Li's body was currently filled with a murderous aura and killing intent. Don't talk, it's just a few insects approaching. Once we deal with them, everything will be fine. Oh, so it's like that. What the naive Exquisite didn't know was that the little bugs Lin Li was talking about were actually the most powerful members of the dragon clan, the Golden Dragon, a dragon that was second only to the five-clawed Golden Dragon. And the 5 golden dragons don't know that they've been discovered. Sensing those little bugs getting closer and closer, Lin Li felt a little disdainful. He then took a step forward and stretched out his hand. One after another, mysterious array runes were released by Lin Li to the fullest. Heaven Ascending Dragon Lock Array, suppress them. With a muffled boom, muffled dragon roars rang out from the formation. These dragon roars were filled with misery, roars, unwillingness, injustice, resentment, and all sorts of other emotions. A miserable scream came from behind. Lin Rei turned around and saw Ling Long lying on the ground. Her face was pale as she looked at the array in front of her. Her expression was filled with fear. Don't come here, don't come here. She kept waving her hands in front of her as if she was being tortured. Seeing this, Lin Li was startled, and a hint of guilt appeared in his heart. He understood why Ling Long had done this. It was for no other reason than the Heaven Seal Dragonlock formation. This formation had been created by someone during the primordial era. As for who it was, no one knew. All they knew was that this person had slain countless dragons in his life in order to create this formation. Waving his hand, Ling Long removed the effect of the Heaven Ascending Dragon Lock Array. In the next moment, Ling Long returned to normal. However, the fear was still there. Her body was trembling. She had fallen into a bad state. This was probably the most terrifying thing she had ever encountered in her life. No one knew what she had seen. Only she knew. Even Lin Ray didn't know. After all, he wasn't a dragon. Moreover, he was the one who created the array. He wasn't affected by the array at all. It's okay. I accidentally brought you into the array. Don't worry, what you saw wasn't real. It was all an illusion created by the array. Saying this, in order to help Ling Long recover, Lin Ray took out a red fruit from his storage ring and handed it to her, saying, "Here, everlasting spirit fruit. It has the effect of calming the nerves. Of course, it's very delicious. I wouldn't be willing to give it to ordinary people." Lin Ray wasn't lying. After all, there was no need to lie. Looking at the red fruit in front of her, it was very beautiful. Adding on the fact that Ling Long was still young, she was quickly bought over by the fruit. "Hee, you're still a child." Seeing Ling Long turn into a foodie, Lin Ray grinned and didn't say anything else. He got up and turned around. The moment his smile disappeared, it was replaced by endless killing intent and excitement. "Hee, come. The more the better. My bloodline has just awakened, so I don't know what it's like." Also, thinking about the information about the bloodline skill that appeared in his mind, Lin Ray couldn't help but want to use it again. Heaven punishing. This was the first time Lin Ray had heard of this skill. However, Lin Ray felt that he could use it at any time. Moreover, his attainment in this skill had reached the peak. It was as if he was born with it. Woo! In the distance, the golden dragon that was flying towards Lin Ray suddenly stopped and roared. It stared at the empty space in front of it with a serious expression. What's going on? Why does this place make my heart palpitate? Looking ahead, it released its divine sense to investigate. A few minutes later, the golden dragon withdrew its divine sense. It had a strange expression because there was nothing in the area it had scanned. Could it be that I'm overthinking? Unable to understand, it shook its head and continued forward. As for the golden dragon's actions, they appeared in Lin Ray's mind. Lin Ray was very clear about their actions. If you want him to come, then this lord's formation. Do you think this lord, a half-step sage, is a vegetarian? In Lin Ray's eyes, the golden dragon was undoubtedly a clown. On the other side, Sakura entered the Xianming Valley. Following his heart's reaction, he quickly arrived at a place not far from Lin Ray. Coming to a halt, he focused on sensing Linley's location. "You rascal. You said you were here to investigate, but I didn't expect you to have gone so deep." Staring ahead, he thought back to the amount of time he had spent on this journey, and a hint of displeasure welled up in his heart. Something's wrong. The power of a formation. Could it be that Lin Ray met a strong enemy? Suddenly, just as Sakura was feeling unhappy, the power of a formation slowly came. It was Lin Ray's doppelganger. Although his formation Tao wasn't strong, he could still sense the existence of the formation. Such a powerful formation. What did this guy do to anger the gods? The more he thought, the more serious Sakura's expression became and his heart sank. Although he knew Lin Ray was strong, this was the Xianming Valley. Moreover, there were many things in the world. Who could say who was strong and who was invincible? Whoosh! As soon as the sound of breaking air resounded, Indra had already disappeared from his original place. Lin Ray didn't know about this. At this moment, his mind was focused on the few little bugs that appeared. He didn't have time to care about anything else. Ah, little bugs, the game has begun. In the area covered by his divine sense, the golden dragon and the other four arrived one after another. Seeing everyone enter his heaven-sealing dragon-lock great formation, a strange smile appeared on his face. His hands were constantly forming seals. Rumble. Suddenly, within 100 zhang radius, the earth and mountains shook without any warning. The beautiful scenery of the surrounding mountains and rivers was destroyed by this sudden earthquake. What's going on? In the heaven-sealing dragon-lock great formation, the golden dragon's heart jumped. He quickly stopped his body from moving forward and used his divine sense to check the surroundings. Big brother, what's going on? Why is the surroundings like this? Yes, big brother. Hearing the question from behind, the golden dragon was stunned. He then smiled bitterly. It seems that we have entered a formation. But what? Seeing their boss's serious face, the four asked in unison. This formation's power is far beyond my imagination. Moreover, I didn't detect that there was a formation here. Moreover, the function of this formation seems to be able to restrain our dragon race. What? Hearing this, everyone was shocked and their faces turned gloomy. This was very obvious. Someone was playing tricks behind the scenes. Hey, brats, do you know what this is called? Suddenly, a man's voice came from all around. The voice was very close, as if he was speaking beside their ears. What is it called? Among them, the golden dragon was bold and asked subconsciously. Catching a turtle in a jar. Of course, it can also be called jiang taigong fishing. Those who are willing to take the bait. Chapter 964. Huang Jinlong understood what he meant, but he never thought that he would be so stupid as to fall into someone else's trap. Feeling the suppressive force coming from the formation, he felt somewhat regretful, somewhat unwilling, and even somewhat apologetic to the brothers behind him. If he hadn't been so sure, if he had investigated more carefully, perhaps the result would have been completely different. Of course, this was just wishful thinking. It was useless to complain since he had already fallen into someone else's trap. The only thing he could do now was to think of a way to escape from this place. He could feel that this place was suppressing the dragon race. If he didn't leave quickly, once the formation was activated, it wouldn't take long for them to be wiped out. This wasn't an exaggeration. This was his premonition, and he believed in his premonition very much. Big brother, don't listen to that person's nonsense. Just wait until I break this formation. Then I'll wring that person's head off and make it your chamber pot. Ha ha ha, second brother, you're thinking too much. A human's brain isn't enough for big brother. PFFF, haha, that's right. Don't you know who our big brother is? Do you think our big brother is? Hearing his brothers criticizing the mysterious man like this, Huang Jinlong's face darkened for a moment. He cursed them in his heart, F***ck, it's already at this time and you're still so mischievous. To be able to set up such a powerful formation, you think the other party's strength is weak? You're all F***king idiots. Ignoring his brothers behind him, Huang Jinlong didn't even care about where he was. His tone weakened and his eyes scanned the surroundings. His expression was no longer as firm and arrogant as before. This, fellow Taoist, why did you set it up like this? We're just passing by. We didn't mean to disturb your cultivation. Here, this Xianming Valley is the territory of the dragon race. Don't you think it's a bit too much to trap us here for no reason? Of course. If you let us go now, we'll treat this as a misunderstanding. How's the arrangement? On the other side, Lin Rei, who was standing together with the terrified golden dragon, narrowed his eyes and looked at the golden dragon in the distance with interest. He said disdainfully, that's a good idea. Then, fellow Taoist, could you first? Hearing the other party's words waver, the golden dragon seized the opportunity to continue, but just as the words left his mouth, he was forcefully stopped by the other party's words. That's a good idea, but... A cold smile appeared on his face as he continued, however, I don't intend to reconcile. Moreover, can't I tell that you are from the Dragon Clan? Really? He glared fiercely at them. Then, the seals in his hands changed continuously. One after another, mysterious seals appeared. Suddenly, the formation within a radius of 1,000 feet silently activated. Awoo! Suddenly, a series of mournful dragon roars resounded in the array formation. The sound was extremely miserable. It had to be said that the might of the heaven-sealing dragon lock formation was truly powerful. Within it, killing, trapping, illusion, and defense were all present. Especially when the dragon's roar entered the golden dragon's ears, the scene before everyone's eyes changed. The original scene disappeared and was replaced by an Azura battlefield. There were no humans in it, only members of the dragon clan. Black frost dragons, golden dragons, torch dragons, seeping dragons, five-clawed golden dragons, primal chaos dragon ancestors, and so on. All kinds of dragons of the dragon clan had appeared in the Azura battlefield, but the scene was not so beautiful. The scene was extremely bloody. Even the golden dragon, who had lived for so long, had never seen such a bloody and unforgettable scene. Especially when the people here were all members of the dragon clan, and there were even primal chaos dragons that were stronger than the five-clawed golden dragons. This kind of dragon was the ancestor of all dragons. However, in the ancient times, the primal chaos dragons disappeared overnight. Whether it was the god realm, the immortal realm, or the saints' world, there was no trace of the primal chaos dragons. Later generations searched for this for a long time, but there was still no information. Thus, this matter became an unsolved case in the various realms. Of course, some realms derailed due to certain reasons, and this matter was severed. Ah, a miserable cry came from the side. Hearing this familiar voice, the golden dragon turned his head and saw that the black frost dragon had transformed into a human at some point in time. However, he was not in a good condition. For some unknown reason, the black frost dragon's face was pale. His forehead was covered in cold sweat and his veins were bulging. His eyes were unfocused and he was crouching on the ground, holding his head as if he had been frightened. Seeing C's appearance, the golden dragon was stunned. He then flashed to his side and reached out to comfort him. What's going on? Why are you, Dragon Monarch, the Dragon Monarch's pressure, and Senior Seeping Dragon's pressure? Even Senior Torch Dragon, what? Hearing the fourth brother's words, everyone was shocked. They couldn't help but glance at each other with a puzzled expression. They knew very well that these were all powerful dragons of the dragon race. The death of these people wasn't something they could bear. But the key point was that there was no pressure from these dragons. Although there were some afterimages in the surroundings, they knew very well that they were not real. It's true. They all passed by. They all looked at me and asked me why I came here. Why didn't I stay at home and cultivate? Why did I come out? And, seeing that his big brother and the others didn't believe him, the black frost dragon couldn't stop crying as he poured out his story. He wasn't lying, but only he could see it. As for the golden dragon's movements, others naturally couldn't see it. Everyone was in a difficult position. They wanted to comfort him, but they did not know where to start. They did not believe the black frost dragon's words. And Seeping Dragon? The Seeping Dragon was already in decline, and the Dragon Monarch was even more so. The Dragon Monarch would not do something so senseless. Suddenly, the third bro seemed to think of something and said, "Illusion formation, I saw it. This must be the work of an illusion formation." Illusion formation. At that moment, everyone turned to the third bro and gave him a puzzled look, as if to say, "Hurry up and explain." An illusion formation. I know this kind of formation, but I don't know such a high-level formation. If it were me, I would at most be able to make people see illusions. As for making C feel the dragon's might so clearly, I can't do it. Moreover, according to the level of formations, this kind of formation has to be at least a saint-level existence. Hiss. Hearing this, everyone could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. Their faces were filled with shock. They understood what a saint-level formation meant. If that was really the case, could they still leave? The answer was obviously no. Of course, even if it was not a saint-level formation, they still could not leave, because Lin Ray would not allow it. At least there's an understanding, an understanding dragon. But you're still wrong. This sovereign's formation is not a saint-level formation. If it was, would you still be able to talk? Idiots. Although there was a slight difference between what the third bro said and how powerful the formation was, it was not that big of a surprise. However, Lin Rei would not let them go just because of that. In his opinion, although these dragons were just passing by, Lin Rei could not help but want to attack when he thought of the brilliant dragon that he had killed. Although he did not know if these people were here for revenge. However, as the saying goes, those who strike first gain the upper hand, those who strike late will suffer. Although he was confident, who would think that one person would naturally have 5 supreme gods or even half-step saints? Even if he was Lin Rei, he would not want to. So, instead of regretting it later, he might as well take action now. At least that way, he could have the upper hand in the battle. Fellow cultivator, we really have no enmity with you. A few days ago, my 6th bro died outside, so we opened our eyes to face you. If we really disturbed you, we are willing to give you the rights to the million-year-old dragon fruit as an apology. What do you think? Heh, Lin Rei smiled. Damn it, he was right. It turned out that they were really here for revenge. Although they only gave a rough idea, it seemed that he was the only one who had killed a dragon during this period. Moreover, the brilliant dragon said that his brother was back for revenge before he died. It seemed that the people here were his brothers. Senior, we really, okay, no need to say any more. Since you said so, then you are right. What do you mean? The golden dragon and the others were stunned. A bad premonition surged in their hearts. Heh, it means that the brother you are talking about, if there is no accident, I killed him, so, since you are here to kill me, that's good. Then, it will be justifiable for me to kill you. This way, the karma will not be added to my body. Of course, Lin Rei was just saying. As for the karma, it did not exist. As a person outside the 6 Tao and not in the 5 elements, these things did not have the slightest restraint on him. Everyone was stunned. The golden dragon cried. This is too little, isn't it? Just now, he was begging for mercy. Now, he wants to kill us. This is too King simple. God, are you playing with me? The golden dragon did not know what to say when he felt that the surrounding formation was getting more and more dense. He did not expect that they would be so unlucky. He also did not expect that the person who trapped them was the person who killed his brother. Moreover, he did not expect this person's strength to be so strong. He could not understand why his 6th brother would provoke such a powerful enemy. That's enough. Since the matter is clear, then, you can all go and die. Rest assured, this exalted will not disdain you all for your own good materials. Although your deaths are not worthy, it is still fine for you to contribute to society. Senior, big brother, don't say any more. The golden dragon wanted to say something, but when he saw C's murderous gaze, he abruptly stopped talking. Die. Suddenly, Lin Rei's eyes widened. His killing intent soared to the sky. It was as if heaven and earth could not withstand his killing intent. Sigh. Forget it, it seems that we will be buried here today. Feeling the terrifying killing intent, the golden dragon knew that they would not be able to escape this time. They closed their eyes and did not resist. They knew that they were helpless against this formation, let alone the person who set it up. Big brother. Suddenly, a young voice that did not fit the situation at all rang out from behind Linley. The killing move that he had already prepared collapsed the instant this big brother entered his ears. That soaring killing intent suddenly dissipated in the air, transforming into nothingness. Turning his head, Lin Rei saw Ling Long. Her pair of black eyes that made people feel tender affection for her. Lin Rei was stunned. He did not understand. What's wrong? Big brother, don't talk about them. They are my family. My eldest uncle is my father's good friend. He has doted on me since I was young. I beg you. What? Linley began to panic. What the CK was going on? He knew that Exquisite was a 5-clawed golden dragon, but he had never imagined that the person he had trapped and who was seeking revenge on him was actually Exquisite's uncle. As for Ling Long, looking at her big eyes reminded him of his deceased eldest son, Jean En, when he was young. For a moment, Lin Rei hesitated. He did not want to let go of the people trapped in the formation, but he also had a desire to protect Ling Long. It was a good thing. Why did it turn out like this? Damn it, kill me. Feeling more and more conflicted, Lin Rei's mood became gloomy. Big brother, I beg you. They are good people. Big brother, let them go. As long as you let them go, Ling Air will take you to the most beautiful place in the profound Abyss Valley. There are many sweet fruits there. I guarantee that you will want to eat more, okay? Damn it, am I the kind of person who is greedy? Although he thought in his heart, his words did have a different meaning. Okay. PFFF, ha ha ha. Just as Linley was about to agree to Exquisite's request, a laughing voice rang out from nearby. I say, Linley, if the people you've beaten up before saw you like this, they'd probably go find a block of tofu and kill themselves. Really, I did not expect that a dignified hierarch realm cultivator would be so cute. Child, you are not obedient. Sakura. That's right, the person who spoke was Sakura. When Ling Long was pleading with Ling Long, he came and saw this scene. Big brother, you, Ling Long was stunned by Sakura's appearance. Seeing someone who looked like Lin Rei, how could she not be stunned? After all, according to the age of the Dragon Clan, he was only about 6 years old. This. Looking at Ling Long's puzzled face, Lin Rei opened his mouth and wanted to explain. Hee, little sister, this big brother is Sakura, the clone of this big brother in front of you. Of course, this big brother has his own consciousness. As he spoke, a red fruit appeared in his hand. He handed it to Ling Long and said, come and have a taste. This is something big brother got in a secret realm. It is sweet and sweet. When he spoke, Sakura emphasized the words sweet and sweet as if he was talking to Lin Rei. Damn it. Lin Rei knows that today's matter will be a joke for a long time. Chapter 965. Crunch, crunch. Although it was a tense moment, Exquisite didn't forget to eat. She grabbed the fruit that Sakura passed to her and bit into it. However, while eating, she didn't forget to beg Lin Rei to let the golden dragons go. Big brother, please let Big Uncle and the others go. They are actually good people. Dragons, they are very good, please. Looking at the tormented golden dragons and the others, Exquisite almost knelt down. She really didn't want to see them die. After all, they were the mainstay of the dragon race. Her father, the dragon emperor of the dragon race, Nameless Dragon, was the one who did it. Looking at Exquisite's adorable appearance and the few dragons who came to seek revenge in the formation, Lin Rei hesitated. Linley was the kind of person who would cut the weeds and eliminate the roots. He would never leave any potential trouble behind. He really did not want to let these dragons off. After all, if they were to seek revenge, what would happen to the Black Sect after he left? He really didn't want to see anything happen to his sect, relatives, or friends because of his decision today. But when he thought of Exquisite and his dead eldest son, Jean En, he seemed to see a shadow of himself in Exquisite. That was why Lin Rei hesitated. Perhaps it was because of his guilt towards Jean En, but after hesitating for a moment, under Exquisite's big, watery eyes, he nodded in agreement. Okay, I can let them go. Great, I knew Big Brother was the kindest. Seeing that Lin Rei agreed to let her uncles go, Exquisite was so happy that she danced with joy. But, just when Exquisite was happy, Lin Rei changed the topic. Exquisite, who was originally sensing something, was stunned and looked at Lin Rei with a puzzled expression. Although I let them go, they can avoid death, but they can't escape punishment. It's too easy to let them go just like that. Besides, I have to ensure that they won't do anything that I will regret for the rest of my life. So, as he spoke, a few elixirs appeared in his hand. Seeing this, Sakura was stunned for a moment before he smiled. Others might not know, but he knew very well that this was the soul-controlling pill. It was effective even for saints. At this moment, he understood Lin Rei's thoughts. However, this was normal. After all, he did not want to let those dragons go. What is this? It looks delicious. Seeing the pills in Lin Rei's hand, and the fragrance of the pills wafted into Ling Long's nose, the little gluttonous bug suddenly had the urge to eat them. It was just a thought, but she still did it. As she thought about it, she reached out to grab the pill in her hand and let him eat it. In her eyes, this was not poison or anything else. She only knew that this thing was very fragrant and very delicious, so, F***ck, you bastard. Seeing Ling Long's action, Lin Rei immediately retracted his hand. Seeing the pill in his hand tightly, his forehead was covered in sweat. Lin Rei was completely convinced by Ling Long, this glutton. He really did not expect Ling Long to be so daring. She did not even ask what this thing was and just wanted to eat it. However, he could not be blamed. Who asked the soul-controlling pill to not only look good, but also have a strong fragrance? Hee hee. At the side, seeing Lin Rei so embarrassed, she smiled. She found a clean rock and sat down, allowing him to watch the show in front of him comfortably. Especially since the main character of this show was Lin Rei, this made it even more interesting. As for Sakura, who did not mind watching the show, Lin Rei directly ignored him. Without thinking too much, he looked at Ling Long. He promised not to be stupid before, so he would not go back on his words. However, he still had to make some guarantees. After all, he did not want to regret it. When he saw Ling Long looking at his tightly clenched fist with a longing expression, black lines appeared on his forehead. He was not in a good mood. F***ck, how mean is your family to let you eat so much? Even though that was what he was thinking, his face remained calm as he said, Little Ling Long, I can let them go because of you. However, for the safety of my family, you must let them take these pills. Only then will I be at ease and let them go. What do you think? His eyes were fixed on Ling Long. He was very displeased that Ling Long had agreed. Because this way, he could justifiably kill the dragon. However, things did not go as he wished. Ling Long's idea was very simple. She wanted to save the golden dragon and the other 5 dragons. Looking at the pill in Lin Rei's hand, Ling Long felt regretful and nodded firmly, I know. Big brother, don't worry. With me here, I guarantee that they will eat this pill obediently. Seeing Ling Long so determined, Lin Rei was stunned and felt a sense of disappointment. However, this disappointment disappeared as quickly as it came. Soon, he returned to normal. At this moment, after promising Lin Rei, she turned around and circulated her divine sect cultivation. She opened her voice and said to the array, Eldest uncle, I am Ling Long. Can you hear me? Eldest uncle, I am Ling Long. Can you hear me? The voices of cultivators flowed into the formation melodiously and accurately into the ears of the 5 golden dragons. Ling Long? They were already prepared to face death. When they heard this voice, they were stunned. Then, they opened their eyes and their faces were filled with disbelief. Why is this little girl here? Shouldn't she be cultivating in the sacred ground? This question quickly flashed through the 5 people's minds. However, they quickly threw this thought to the back of their minds. When they thought of the expert who had trapped them, their expressions immediately tensed up. Little Ling Long, quickly leave this place. It's too dangerous here. Go back to your father. He's safe there. Yes, Ling Long, quickly leave this place. It is too dangerous here. Hurry, little princess. Quickly leave this place. This is not a good place. Quickly leave and go back to your father. Bastard, Ling Long, quickly leave. Following the worried voice of the golden dragon, one after another, they all said the same thing. They were afraid that Ling Long would be hurt. They did not want to see that happen. In their hearts, Ling Long was like their child. Especially since she had perfectly inherited the legacy of the five-clawed golden dragon and was the holy maiden of the dragon race. Therefore, they did not want anything to happen to her. Moreover, in their minds, Ling Long should be cultivating in the sacred ground of the dragon race. However, they did not care about that. At this moment, they could only pray that the expert who trapped them did not discover Ling Long's existence. Otherwise, thinking about it, they did not dare to think about it anymore. They did not know what would happen if they did. Meanwhile, in the outside world, when Ling Long, who was standing beside Lin Rei, heard that the golden dragon was worried about her life even though they were in such a deep place, she felt a sense of warmth. Her desire to save them grew stronger. She looked at Lin Rei with a smile and said, "See? What did I say? Big Uncle and the others are actually very kind." After saying that, he didn't give Linley a chance to speak and immediately turned to the golden dragon in the formation and continued, "Eldest uncle, don't worry. Big brother has already promised me that he won't kill you. However, as a condition, you must eat one of his medicinal pills." Hearing this, a manly smile appeared on Linley's face. However, when he heard Ling Long's next sentence, Linley's expression turned even more awkward. "Big uncle, let me tell you. Big brother's medicinal pills are very, very fragrant. They look delicious. But Big brother is a little biased. He only gave you guys the pills, not Ling Long." As soon as these words came out, Linley began to sweat profusely. Not just Linley, even Sakura, without waiting for the other experts, clutched his stomach and began to laugh while rocking back and forth. As for the golden dragon inside the formation, when he heard this, black lines appeared on his forehead. They knew that Ling Long was a glutton. However, when he thought about the big brother that Ling Long mentioned, he knew the answer. Although he did not want to admit it, he could only nod. "Okay, let him give us the medicinal pills. We are willing to take them." "Big brother. Big brother, you," for a moment, the Black Frost Dragon, third brother, and second brother were all in disbelief. They did not expect their big brother to agree so readily. "Sai, let's give up. We can't even escape from this formation. What do you think we can do? Besides, if we die, what will happen to the dragon race? Although the Dragon Emperor is guarding this place, what about those rascals? Although it is a little sullen, for the sake of our clansmen and loved ones, this is nothing." Although the golden dragon's words were straightforward, the dragons were convinced. After all, everyone had loved ones. They did not want to push them to the edge of the storm because of their decision today. No matter where they were, no matter what race they were, there would always be families, nobles, and poor people. The dragon race was no exception. Therefore, for the sake of their family's prosperity, they had no choice but to let go of their pride and muddle along. "Sai, okay, let's agree." At this moment, Ling Long opened his mouth. It seemed as if he had used up all his strength to say this. He looked as if he had lost all his strength. Agree. I agree too." Seeing that one agreed, the others followed one after another. The golden dragon was very satisfied. After all, he did not want to see his brothers die in front of him. Seeing that everyone had agreed, the golden dragon smiled and turned to Ling Long and growled, "Ling Long, you say it. We, the golden dragon, and the others agree." "Oh yeah." As soon as the golden dragon said this, the one who was the happiest was none other than Ling Long. However, although she was happy, she still had to do something. She looked at Lin Rei with her bright eyes and said, "Big brother, you see, I understand. Really, it's not fun at all." Lin Rei nodded and then shot the 5 soul-controlling pills in his hand towards the golden dragon. Whoosh! Whoosh! The sound of air being pierced rang out. The golden dragon, who was waiting, seemed to have sensed something. He immediately released his divine sense and saw 5 rays of light streaking across the area of his divine sense. Moreover, they were heading towards the crowd. The golden dragon's expression changed and he immediately released his cultivation to resist. However, before he could release his cultivation, the rays of light appeared in front of him. At first, he was very afraid. However, in the next moment, something amazing happened. He thought that the rays of light would be obliterated. However, the moment the rays of light reached the golden dragon, they stopped in front of him and floated in the air. Hiss! Pill treasure? The golden dragon exclaimed in shock. No matter how strong the pill was, it wouldn't hurt anyone. Furthermore, pills were useless to them. Of course, just because they didn't need it didn't mean that they didn't like it. Eat it. He understood that only by eating it could he continue to live. Without hesitation, the golden dragon grabbed the pill and swallowed it. The pill melted as soon as it entered his mouth and a fragrance filled his nose. At the side, seeing that his big brother didn't hesitate at all, he also swallowed the pill without hesitation. Heh, at least you know what's good for you. Lin Rei, who had been paying attention to the situation in the array, couldn't help but admire them when he saw that they didn't hesitate to take the pill. After all, there weren't many people with such courage in Lin Rei. Big brother, that, Ling Long's voice came from behind. Lin Rei quivered and turned around. What's the matter? Seeing Ling Long's expression, he seemed to have understood something. With a thought, a pill appeared in his hand. This pill was very suitable for divine ancestor realm cultivation. However, he didn't have many of these pills. After all, he was now a late-stage hierarch. Therefore, he had even fewer of these pills. Of course, the most important thing was that he didn't want to refine them. After all, he couldn't let a first-stage saint-grade alchemist refine divine ancestor realm pills for others. Unless that person had something he really wanted. Hee. Thank you, big brother. Sigh. This child. Seeing Ling Long eating happily, he was stunned and didn't say anything else. He could only smile bitterly to express his current thoughts. Do you plan to be easygoing next? Or? Seeing that the matter was settled, Sakura, who was watching the show, stopped watching and asked. I haven't decided yet. Lin Rei didn't hide anything from Sakura, but since we're here in the Dragon Clan, it wouldn't be good if we don't go there. Also. As he spoke, a mysterious smile appeared, as if he thought of something. That's good. I really want to see what kind of parents can give birth to a glutton like Ling Long. Seeing that Sakura was stirring up trouble, he rolled his eyes and ignored him. Heaven Sealing Dragon Lock Array, withdraw. Not long after, the formation within a radius of 1,000 feet disappeared without a trace, as if it had never appeared in the first place. Whoosh, plop. Subordinate from the Golden Dragon Clan, Long Yu greets Master. Subordinate from the Red Dragon Clan, Chiyu greets Master. Subordinate from the Black Frost Dragon Clan, Han Feng greets Master. Subordinate from the Winged Dragon Clan, Feng Tianyi greets Master. Just as Lin Rei withdrew the array, several figures came in front of Lin Rei. Without any explanation, they knelt on the ground and introduced themselves. Chapter 966. Big Uncle, you guys. The sudden appearance of the golden dragon and the word of Master, when he knelt before Lin Rei had left Exquisite, who was full of anticipation, dumbfounded. It was apparent that she didn't expect the golden dragon to do this. Of course, she had never thought of this before. However, this scene really happened. In the dragon race, unless the emperor of their own race bowed down to them, no one else could make the dragon race submit to them, especially to humans. In the dragon race's view of the world, humans were insignificant, pitiful, weak, and despicable. Therefore, it was impossible for the dragon race to submit to a human. But now, one appeared in front of her, the saintess of the dragon race, the future emperor. Her big, watery eyes stared at the impossible scene in front of her. She was stunned, and confused. Not bad, Lin Rei. This time, you've gotten 5 good subordinates. It seems that you don't have to walk or fly alone anymore. Looking at the golden dragon and the other 4 dragons, Sakura's eyes glinted. In his eyes, the golden dragon and the others were his mounts and means of transportation. Seeing how excited Sakura was, Lin Rei shook his head helplessly. He couldn't figure it out. In the past, Sakura wasn't like this. At that time, he couldn't even beat a fart with a few sticks. But now, he had changed too much. Lin Rei couldn't get used to it. He didn't understand who he learned this from and who he followed. Sigh. Shaking his head, Lin Rei didn't have the chance to reply to Sakura's suggestion. He turned to the golden dragon and the others. Although he didn't have the intention to kill them, he was still disgusted with them. Get up. Yes, sir. Upon receiving Linley's orders, the gold dragon and the other 4 dragons rose to their feet, then moved to stand behind Linley. They stood behind him respectfully, not saying anything. They just waited respectfully for Linley's orders. Damn, big brother, what's going on? Why are big uncle and the others? At this moment, Ling Long finally recovered from her shock. She then looked at Lin Rei in confusion and asked. Little Ling Long did not feel good about the golden dragons and the others at the moment. After all, she was a member of the dragons, especially a 5-clawed golden dragon who was an emperor. How could she stand it when she saw her people kowtowing to a human? Of course, this was only the subconscious reaction of little Ling Long. She was not like that in person. Looking at Ling Long, Lin Rei didn't hide anything, because he didn't want to hide anything from her. Perhaps it was because her and Jinan's expressions were too similar to Lin Rei's, so he subconsciously treated her as his own child. They wanted to kill me before. Although you pleaded on my behalf, I'm still very worried about unstable factors like this. In particular, after I reached the Saint's world, I don't want a moment of carelessness to lead to a disaster. I don't want my family and friends to go through that tragedy again. I can't afford to gamble. Lin Rei's body was filled with sorrow. He didn't want to, but it was the truth after all. At the same time, he didn't want to lie to Ling Long, big brother. Sensing Lin Rei's sorrow, Ling Long's eyes, which were originally filled with intelligence, became misty for some reason. Her voice became choked as if she would cry at any moment. Ugh, seeing Ling Long like this, Linley was startled. But then, his gloominess was swept away, and a rare smile appeared on his face. Pretending to be indifferent, he said, Hey, what's going on? Our little Ling Long is crying. Seriously, at the side, Sakura understood tacitly and immediately echoed Linley, that's right, who is this? Isn't this little Ling Long of the Dragon Clan? Ah, why is she crying? Is this still that beautiful little Ling Long? Hearing Sakura's words, Lin Rei couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. Lin Rei was really defeated by Sakura's words. However, as if it was because of this, Ling Long snorted and pouted. She said angrily, when did I do that? Big brother, you clearly saw wrongly. Yeah, right. Big brother, you saw wrongly. After saying that, she quickly turned around and forcefully hid the tears in her eyes. Seeing this, Lin Rei smiled and turned to Huang Jinlong and the others. Go to the entrance of the Xianming Valley and bring my 2 wives here. After saying that, he waved his hand and spiritual energy filled the air. Suddenly, 2 lifelike figures appeared in front of the 5 dragons. This is it. Hurry up and go. If they don't believe you, give them this thing. They will naturally believe you when the time comes. A black token was casually thrown to Huang Jinlong. If the people of the Xuanzong sect saw this token, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that they would definitely kneel on the ground and kowtow to it. Even the current Xuanzong sect leader, Lin Rei's son, Lin Yun, was the same. Not for other reasons, but because this token represented the strongest power of the Xuanzong sect. In the entire Xuanzong sect, only Lin Rei, the founder, had this token. Even if someone wanted to, it was impossible. This was because Lin Rei had set up a formation in this token and used a special method to imprint his Dharma body's will into it. Moreover, Lin Rei wasn't afraid of it being stolen. Even if someone stole it, as long as a trace of spiritual energy was released into the token, it would automatically determine who the spiritual energy came from. If it wasn't Lin Rei himself, then Lin Rei's will would be activated. The final result was obvious. Other than death, there was no other outcome. Understood. Feeling the cold sensation from the token, Huang Jinlong's heart skipped a beat and he nodded. Then, he led his 4 brothers and disappeared towards the entrance of the Xianming Valley. Damn, Lin Rei, you. Seeing Huang Jinlong leaving in such a hurry, Sakura was unwilling for a moment. Are you serious? You only let Huang Jinlong receiving and Bing. Then, what about Tianning and Dubhe Rabbit? Them? Looking at Sakura with a strange gaze, a strange smile appeared. They aren't my wives. Moreover, your wife isn't among them. Now, they are at most our partners. Moreover, they are dispensable partners. If it wasn't for their friendship with you, not to mention other things, just based on the fact that they are the incarnations of the slaughter origin, I would be able to devour them to increase my cultivation. What do you think? You. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Sakura wanted to refute, but he forcefully swallowed the words that were about to come out of his mouth. He didn't know what to say. After all, Lin Rei was right. Of course, he didn't know that Lin Rei's words were just to provoke him. How could Lin Rei not know about Sakura's feelings for Tianning? However, Lin Rei was very serious about the latter part of his words. If it wasn't for Sakura, he might really devour Tianning and Dubhe Rabbit. Sakura was silent. Lin Rei only felt that the heaven and earth suddenly became quiet. This was a feeling he liked very much. Since there is still some time, why don't I go and cultivate? No matter how small a mosquito is, it's still meat. While thinking, he came to a clean square stone and was about to sit cross-legged with his palms facing the sky. Big brother, do you want to come to my dragon race as a guest? Our dragon race has lived here for tens of thousands of years. No outsider has ever entered. Just as Lin Rei was about to cultivate, little Ling Long suddenly asked such a question. Lin Rei was stunned. Go to the dragon race. Actually, he also has such a plan and is preparing to do so. First, he wanted to go to the dragon race to take a look at their current situation. After all, he had promised the little golden dragon to help him find his family. Second, of course, it was about the space origin. As the master of the Xianming Valley, he wanted to get some information from the dragon race. Looking up at little Ling Long, seeing her clear and bright eyes, Lin Rei faintly smiled and nodded. Okay, since little Ling Long invited me, how can Big Brother have the heart to refuse little Ling Long? I promise you. When Big Brother's wife comes, I will accompany you to the dragon race as a guest. Oh yeah, that's great. Little Ling Long, who didn't have any thoughts, was overjoyed when she saw Lin Rei agree. On the other hand, Sakura was unusually silent. Lin Rei didn't want to say anything to him. Although he was a clone, Lin Rei had never treated him as a clone. After all, he had his own thinking ability, so he didn't say anything and closed his eyes to rest. Then, he began to organize the space origin technique in his mind. Lin Rei had been looking forward to this technique for a long time. Previously, the little dragon said that he would wait until he reached the late ultimate god realm. Although he was only at the mid-ultimate god realm when he gave it to him, because of the sudden awakening of his bloodline, he was now at the peak late ultimate god realm. The little dragon was right about this. At the entrance of the Xianming Valley, it was Tianning's turn to be nervous. After all, she couldn't leave Sakura. Why isn't he back yet? Isn't it just going to investigate? He should at least reply. She looked at the entrance of the valley from time to time. She walked back and forth in front of the Dubhe Rabbit and Ing without feeling tired. I say, sister, can you stop walking? If you don't walk back and forth like this, I'm going to faint for you. The Dubhy rabbit couldn't help but say while looking at Tian Ning. Yes. Sister Tian Ning. Ing looked at Tian Ning and said, don't be like this. With Sakura and my husband's cultivation, I don't think anything will happen to them. Don't worry. Although Ing said that, she was actually feeling weak in her heart. Although she said that, she was very worried in her heart like Tian Ning. But, Just as Tian Ning was about to say something, Ying's expression changed drastically. He stood up and unleashed all his great perfection ultimate god realm without holding anything back. She looked at the Xianming Valley with a dignified expression. A 3-foot-long cold sword was already in her hand. The sword's cry soared into the sky and resounded through the clouds. What's wrong? Ying's action caused Bing to stand up and ask. Not only Bing, but the Dubhy rabbit and Tian Ning also looked at Ing in confusion, wanting an answer. Ignoring everyone's gazes, Ing stared at the entrance of the valley and said in a dignified voice, there are experts approaching, and we don't know how many of them there are. What? Tian Ning and the others were shocked. They immediately released their divine senses and rushed towards the entrance of the Xianming Valley. As expected, there are indeed several powerful auras rapidly approaching. The Dubhy rabbit spoke with a dignified expression. What do we do? Everyone sensed it. They also felt that they couldn't resist these powerful auras, especially the leader. It was so strong that Ing felt suffocated. Humph, what else can we do? Only one move will give us a chance of survival. If we don't fight, I don't need to say what will happen to us. Everyone should know. While following by Linley's side, he hadn't learned anything else, but he had learned most of Linley's ability to remain calm and collected when faced with problems. In addition, he had Linley's charisma as well. Yes, let's fight. A wave of cold air suddenly appeared. Suddenly, the temperature within a radius of a few miles suddenly became extremely cold. If it weren't for the fact that everyone present had a high cultivation base, they would have been injured by this wave of cold air. Tisk, tsk, such extreme cold air is rare. I didn't expect Lin Rei's 2 wives to be so strong. I thought they were just flower vases. The heavenly pivot rabbit and Tian Ning were shocked by the strength of Ing and Bing. Especially the cold air that Bing emitted, it shocked the two of them. I didn't expect the 2 sisters to be so strong. Tian Ning cupped her hands and praised the 2. Yes, I didn't expect you to be so strong. I don't know what luck Lin Rei has accumulated in his life to let you, shut up. Suddenly, Ing shouted coldly. The heavenly pivot rabbit, who was about to speak, swallowed its words and looked at Ing blankly. You keep talking about my husband in front of us. It's fine before, but you don't know what's good for you. Do you really think we don't dare to kill him? In Ying's heart, Lin Rei was her reverse scale, her life. Previously, the Dubhy rabbit said that it was fine for Ing and Dubhy rabbit to complain. After all, Di Shi Tian was there at that time, but now, boom, a shocking murderous aura suddenly burst out from Ing and Bing. Although it wasn't as strong as the innate murderous origin, it couldn't be underestimated. Tian Ning saw the 2 of them and felt embarrassed. She quickly stopped them. She knew it was her Dubhy rabbit's fault, so, let's talk nicely. She turned to the Dubhy rabbit and reprimanded, you 2, why are you talking about them? Really, you don't make people worry at all. Look at how you, for a moment. Tian Ning began to preach to the Dubhy rabbit. Ing and Bing snorted and didn't say anything. In their divine senses, a few powerful auras appeared and were getting closer. Ing and the others were extremely nervous. Although they didn't know if they were friends or foes, everyone who appeared in the Xianming Valley except for Lin Rei and Di Shi Tian was suspicious. A woo, dragon roars rushed out of the Xianming Valley and reached Ing and the others' ears. Hearing this dragon roar, Ing and the others' expression changed greatly. Dragon race. There really is a dragon here. Thinking of the rumors, Ing and the others' expression changed greatly. Thinking of Lin Ray and Dubhy Rabbit, they couldn't help but worry. Chapter 967. They were worried about their husband, Lin Ray. After all, the Dragon Clan was a natural-born cultivator of the physical body. Not only were they powerful, but their secret techniques were also unfathomable. Get ready. It may be a battle of life and death. Our husband is not here. We have to be careful. Remember, your life is the most important thing. Do you hear me? If you can't hold on, I'll stop them. You leave first. What? At this moment, Bing's face was shocked. She quickly shook her head and refused. No, absolutely not. I'll stop them. Sister, you leave. After all, woo. Just as the two women were rejecting each other, the dragon's roar approached. Finally, 5 figures appeared in front of Ing and the other dead people. May I ask, Your Excellency, may I ask, which one of you is missing and Miss Bing? Just as Ing was about to ask the other party's intentions, the leader of the Dragon Clan, Golden Dragon, quickly spoke up. Huh? Hearing the person in front of them call out their names, the two people were suddenly at a loss. Besides being confused, Ing and Bing didn't have any other thoughts. They really couldn't figure out how these dragons knew their names. May I ask, which one of you is missing and Miss Bing? Seeing that no one spoke, Golden Dragon patiently asked again. However, this time, Ing didn't remain silent like before. She raised her head and looked at the crowd, although there were many things she didn't want to say. I'm Ing, this is Bing. I wonder if you, plop, plop. Ing had just opened her mouth to say her identity when the next moment, a scene that shocked Ing and the others appeared. The moment the 5 dragons learned that Ing was the one they wanted to change their luck, they didn't say anything else and directly knelt on the ground and respectfully said, "We are the generals that the director just took in. We were ordered to bring the 2 ladies to the master. Please come up, we will carry you there." Then, Golden Dragon glanced at the Black Frost Dragon and the Red Dragon beside him. Suddenly, the 2 understood and directly transformed into their dragon forms, waiting for Ing and Bing to ride them. Please. This scene happened so fast and so suddenly that the 2 of them hadn't come back to their senses yet. F***CK, F***CK, what did Lin Ray do to make the Dragon Clan willing to become his mount? Is this F***King heaven defying? That's right. Did Linley rob the Dragon Clan? Since that's the case. Even Tian Ning, who had always been steady, opened her mouth. Mistresses, before Master left, he gave this subordinate something and said that if the 2 mistresses don't believe him, I should show it to him. As he spoke, Huang Jinlong took out the command medallion that Lin Ray had given him and handed it to the Shadow Children for inspection. This is Order of the Xuanzong Sect. That's right, this was Lin Ray's unique Xuanzong Sect token. Lin Ray was the only one in the world who had it. It was impossible for anyone else to have such a thing. When she saw the command medallion, she was shocked. She knew that they had indeed been sent by her husband to receive her and the others. In comparison, her originally tense heart finally relaxed. Her appropriate cultivation also dissipated, disappearing without a trace. Mistresses, do you believe in my identity now? Judging from the 2 ladies' expressions, Huang Jinlong knew that they believed him. We understand. Since Master sent you to receive us, then, let's go. The 2 of them didn't say anything else. Under the gaze of Huang Jinlong and the others, the 2 of them each climbed onto a dragon and waited to depart. We can sit on a dragon now. Seeing the 2 of them sit on a dragon, the heavenly pivot rabbit excitedly skipped over to the dragon, wanting to leave on a dragon like the 2 of them. Apologies, Master said that only the 2 of us are allowed to sit on the dragon, so, apologies. Just as the heavenly pivot rabbit was about to reach the Black Frost Dragon's side, a large hand stopped it. What? You? Hearing this, both Tian Ning and the heavenly pivot rabbit were stunned. They didn't expect this result. They were originally happy to sit on a dragon, but now it was a completely different situation. Seeing this, the two of them laughed inwardly. However, their faces were still cold, making one's hair stand on end. It felt like they were 1,000 miles away. Seeing the two of them in a deadlock, the two of them really wanted to see their husband. Sighing inwardly, she ordered Huang Jinlong, "Let them come up as well. We want to see our husband as soon as possible. We don't want to waste time because of this matter." Sure enough, under Shadow's command, the golden dragon nodded respectfully. "Yes, master." Huang Jinlong turned around and stopped the heavenly pivot rabbit's hand. "You two go up, hurry up." You. Although they were very angry, the heavenly pivot rabbit and Tian Ning still obediently sat on the black frost dragon. After all, they didn't know where Lin Rei was. Moreover, flying from here to Lin Rei should be very far. They didn't want to fly. "Let's go." Seeing that everyone was present, Huang Jinlong spoke. Suddenly, 5 dragons soared into the sky, carrying Ying and the others into the depths of Xianming Valley. Regarding this, Linley continued to quietly focus on his spatial arts. After all, he had just reached such a high level of suspense. In addition, spatial arts could only be used if one had mastered the prime essences of space. Thus, TSK, this thing is so mysterious. Void Blade? Although it's just a simple and low-level spatial technique, it's indeed the easiest to learn. Sorting out the information in his mind, Lin Rei finally came to this conclusion regarding spatial arts. There was no other reason other than the fact that time was too short. He didn't want to send her into seclusion for 10,000 years. So, Void Blade was a low-grade spatial art that used spatial arts to cast. It could cut and pierce through the enemy without leaving a trace. It was unfathomable and unpredictable. No one could catch a trace of it. Divine sense couldn't detect it. It was a must-have technique for killing and plundering. F***CK. Looking at the usage of Void Blade, Lin Rei was shocked. Especially when he heard the last sentence, must-have technique for killing and plundering. Lin Rei really wanted to curse. However, thinking about the Void Blade, his heart surged. One must know that when facing an enemy, the preemptive strike was the king. Now that he had this technique, he wouldn't need to be afraid when encountering a strong enemy. Of course, this was also within his ability to bear, otherwise, time passed bit by bit. Lin Rei was in the midst of cultivation. Ling Long was very obedient and didn't disturb Lin Rei. Instead, she played with Di Shi Tian at the side. In a blink of an eye, 3 days passed. And on this day, Lin Rei finally welcomed the return of Ying and the others. A dragon's roar awoke Linley from his meditation. He exited his meditation and opened his eyes, a bright light shining in them. After 3 days of relentless meditation, he had finally reached the beginner level of the simplest spatial technique, Space Blade. Although Lin Rei wasn't very satisfied with this, but he still accepted it. After all, haste makes waste. Everything had to be done slowly, especially this kind of thing, which couldn't be rushed. He got up and looked at Huang Jinlong and the others who had already arrived. His gaze fell on the 2 figures on the black frost dragon and the crimson dragon. A smile appeared on his face. He went to the crimson dragon's side and reached out to stop Ying, who was sitting on the crimson dragon. Looking at his wife whom he hadn't seen for a long time, Lin Rei was very excited. After all, except for Ying and Ling Long, everyone else was in the Xuanzong sect. "Thank you for your hard work," he whispered in Ying's ear. His tone was very gentle. The current Lin Rei was no longer the demon emperor that the people of the immortal world spoke of. Sure. You've been here for more than 10 years. Didn't you say you were going to investigate? Although Lin Rei's gentle words made her heart flutter, she still turned her head and pretended to be angry. Husband, what happened to you during this period of time? Everyone. On the side, seeing Lin Rei deflated, Bing smiled and pointed at the dragon under her, as if asking them what was going on. Don't worry about them. They were just accidentally subdued. Since you're here, then come. Let me introduce you to a little beauty. Thump. Hearing these words, the faces of the two women simultaneously changed and turned ugly. They looked at Linley with a complicated expression. Hee, it seems like we've been misunderstood. Feeling the change in their expressions, Lin Ray was stunned. He smiled bitterly and shook his head. He knew what the two were thinking, but, let's go. Saying that, he reached out his hand to the waist of the two girls and arrived beside Di Tian in a flash. Come, this is the little friend I just met, the dragon race's little Ling Long. Pointing at the little girl beside Di Tian, Lin Ray introduced her to Ying and Ling Long. Especially when he said the words little girl, Lin Ray deliberately emphasized his tone, as if he was deliberately saying it for Ying and Ling Long to hear. Little girl. The disappointment in her heart was swept away after seeing little Ling Long, because little Ling Long was too small. Looking up at her husband's smiling face, a blush appeared on her cheeks. She smiled bitterly in her heart. She originally thought that her husband had fallen in love with some girl, but now she completely understood. It turned out that she was thinking too much. Wow, what a beautiful little sister. On the side, Bing looked at little Ling Long and cried out in surprise. She then squatted down and pinched her little face. Aya, so cute. While pinching little Ling Long's cheeks, she cried out in surprise with a face full of smiles. That. Bing, don't pinch little Ling Long. Seeing his wife's action, Lin Ray smiled awkwardly. He quickly opened his mouth. He was afraid that if he didn't open his mouth, Bing would continue like this. Oh. Sure enough. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Bing reluctantly left little Ling Long and returned to Ying's side. Looking at Ying and Ling Long, Lin Ray smiled and said, well, let's rest for a while and then prepare to visit the dragon race. Dragon race? A cry came from afar. Looking up, Dubhy Rabbit excitedly jumped down from the black frost dragon and flashed in front of Di Tian. That uncontrollable excitement made Lin Ray speechless. Are you okay? At this time, Tian Ning came from afar. After seeing Di Tian, she asked about his recent situation. Hey. Looking at Di Tian and the other two, Lin Ray didn't disturb them. Instead, he went to the side and chatted with his wife and little Ling Long. Not long later, Di Tian brought Tian Ning to Lin Ray. Looking at them, Lin Ray smiled and stood up. Let's go. It is time to go to the dragon race. Ah, that's great. We can go home now. If father sees that I have made so many friends, he will be very happy. Hearing that Lin Ray and the others were going to her clan, little Ling Long jumped up excitedly with a happy smile on her face. Hee. Let's go. At the side, the golden dragon and the other 4 dragons understood tacitly and transformed into 5 huge dragons to wait for everyone to ride. Everyone sat down. Lin Ray, who was the leader, said to the golden dragon, bring us to the dragon race. Roar, yes, master. But there are some array formations and restrictions at the entrance to the dragon race, so, don't worry. Just focus on flying. As for the array formations and restrictions you mentioned, leave them to me. Linley was quite confident in his mastery of formations and restrictive spells. After all, he was a Saint rank array master. Okay. The golden dragon believed in Lin Ray's confidence. After all, they had just experienced the power of Lin Ray's array formations. Big brother, let me tell you. Our dragon race is. Just like that, everyone set foot on the road to the dragon race. During this process, little Ling Long's little mouth didn't stop talking. She kept explaining to Lin Ray and the others about the dragon race's power and the beauty of the dragon race's scenery. Lin Ray and the others listened attentively to little Ling Long's words. Although they understood that little Ling Long had never gone out before, which was why she thought the dragon race's scenery was the most beautiful. Everyone was carried by the golden dragon all the way to the depths of the Xianming Valley. The speed was astonishing. Time passed as everyone chatted. During this time, little Ling Long asked Lin Rei for a lot of delicious food. There were spirit fruits, elixirs, and all kinds of natural treasures. As for these, Lin Rei wasn't stingy at all. As long as little Ling Long wanted something, he would do his best to satisfy it. Ing, Bing, and the others were shocked. Especially as Lin Rei's wife, Ing understood her husband's character very well. But she didn't understand why he treated little Ling Long like this. Of course, this was also because of her doubts. She didn't stop Lin Rei's actions. After all, little Ling Long was very beautiful, like a porcelain doll. She was very beautiful and lovable. The dragon race was located in a secret realm in the depths of the Xianming Valley. Of course, it could also be said that the dragon race lived in an open space. It was also a small world. In order to open a small world like this, one needed to be exceedingly powerful. Even a Dao fruit sage wouldn't be able to open such a space. Unless one reached the Dao integration stage or broke through to another level, perhaps only then could one do it. At this moment, several resplendent rays of light streaked across the sky and appeared at the entrance of the dragon race. Master, this is the entrance to the dragon race. Chapter 968. This was a very beautiful place with pleasant scenery. There were ponds, grass, flowers, and trees. It could be said that it was a good place to live in seclusion. However, this was indeed a dead end. Looking at the dead end in front of him, Lin Rei looked at the golden dragon with a puzzled expression, as if to say, "Are you joking? Master, to enter the dragon clan, you need a token to open the way, so..." Understanding Lin Rei's puzzled expression, the golden dragon was stunned. Then, he took out a blue token made of unknown material. Seeing this token, Lin Rei understood. Usually, secret places would need tokens or restrictions to open the way. Just like the Xuanzong Sect, they also needed a token to open the mountain gate. Lin Rei did not say anything. He just waited quietly for the golden dragon to make his move. Xian Gate, open. It was very simple, just 3 words. Then, the token pressed against the void. In the next moment, something wonderful happened. Originally, there was no way to go in front of the cliff. But in the next moment, the moment the golden dragon took out the token, a door similar to a void hole appeared. The power of space. Feeling the energy coming from the void hole, Lin Rei was stunned. He subconsciously thought of the void blade he learned before. Didn't it give him this feeling? That's right, it's the power of space. I didn't expect this dragon clan member to be able to comprehend the way of space. And judging by the size of this space, the dragon clan member who opened this space is very strong. It seems to have, ding, little dragon, please note that what you are about to say will touch upon the host's authority. If you force yourself to say something that the host does not have the authority to know, you will receive punishment from the system. Ding, repeat. Stop your irrational actions. Just as Lin Rei confirmed that the power coming from the void hole was the power of space, the little dragon's voice sounded. Moreover, the little dragon also admitted that Lin Rei knew the bottom. It continued to explain, but it stopped at the end. It was as if Lin Rei should not know the next thing. Go on. Lin Rei was stunned when he heard the little dragon stop explaining. He didn't understand why the little dragon had stopped at the crucial moment. Scram. I can't say what I'm going to say next. Just now, the system notified me that you don't have the authority to know. So, bear with it. Of course, if you really want to know. After taking a deep breath, the little dragon continued, continue to work hard in your cultivation. When you achieve the Great Path system, the authority it has over you will disappear. At that time, the system will tell you everything you want to know. F***ck, it's as good as not saying anything. Looking at the little dragon, Lin Rei couldn't help but raise his middle finger, his disdain undisguised. Facing Lin Rei's attitude, the little dragon really wanted to clarify things. But he didn't dare to do so with the system's warning. After all, not everyone could bear the system's punishment. Even he didn't want to bear the system's punishment. Because it really hurt. Even though the little dragon was in a spirit state, he didn't want to do anything to provoke the system. Sigh, forget it. Do as you see fit. You don't have much time left. I'll take my leave first. After saying that, the little dragon disappeared and returned to the system. Lin Rei was already used to this and didn't care about it. TSK, if you don't want to say it, then don't say it. You have so many excuses. Lin Rei didn't know about the system's warning. However, Lin Rei didn't care about it. After all, he knew that he wasn't strong enough now. Big brother, let's go. We'll reach Exquisite's house soon after we enter this place. Exquisite will bring you around the dragon race's hometown. At this moment, the happiest one was Exquisite, especially when she brought Lin Rei and the others home. Okay, whatever you say. Looking at Exquisite, Lin Rei dotingly stroked her silky hair and patted the golden dragon. The golden dragon let out a deep growl, turned into a golden stream of light, and rushed into the void entrance. Boss, wait for us. The remaining dragons were called golden dragons, and they carried Lin Rei away. Everyone let out deep growls and rushed into the void entrance one after another. In the end, the instant everyone disappeared into the void entrance closed and disappeared without a trace as though it had never appeared. In the outside world, the mountains, rivers, and scenery remained the same. Nothing had changed and everything was the same as before. At the place where the dragon chief was, a group of people were discussing something important in the hall. The atmosphere in the hall was stifling. Everyone frowned, especially the middle-aged man who sat at the head of the table. His face was so gloomy that it reached the freezing point. If Ling Long were here, she would definitely run straight into the arms of the middle-aged man. That was because he was the clan leader of the dragon clan, Ling Long's father, Long Wuming. As for the remaining dozen or so people, they were all elders or grand elders of the dragon clan. Everyone, have you thought of a solution? How should we deal with that thing? After all, we don't have much time left. If we can't find a solution, we can only migrate the entire race. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone was stunned. Their expressions were very complicated. There was disappointment, helplessness, anger, sarcasm, and all sorts of other expressions. At this moment, an old man beside Long Wuming saw that everyone was silent and the atmosphere was stifling. He immediately spoke up to ease the tension. Wuming, this matter can't be solved so easily. After all, the other party is using the power of space. You should know that this kind of power can't be blocked. So what if we're from the dragon race? So what if we have a small world? So what? In the face of the power of space, we're no different from ants. Putting aside the power of space, the other party's cultivation is very strong. As the strongest in our dragon race, how many moves do you think you can take? When Long Wuming, who was sitting in the seat of honor, heard this, he wanted to refute on the spot. However, as soon as he spoke, he choked on his words. His expression was very ugly. It wasn't that he didn't want to say it. It was that he had no choice at all. Just as he said, how many moves could he take? Suddenly, just as Long Wuming was speechless and was about to say that silence was golden, a golden light suddenly flashed in his storage ring. Who opened the spatial door? Filled with doubts, Long Wuming took out a token and closed his eyes to sense it. Human. In the next moment, when Long Wuming opened his eyes, a cold light flashed and the word human popped out. What? Human? Impossible. Other than the people of our dragon race, there's no other human cultivator who can use that spatial door. Moreover, this is the dragon race. Do you think that they would be so stupid as to charge into the dragon race? That's right. Clan Chief, how could humans possibly enter our place? Even if there are rumors about our dragon race in the outside world, they don't know the exact location of our dragon race at all. Furthermore, the entrance to the spatial door is hidden. Without a token, it's impossible for anyone to discover it. That's right, that's right. When Long Wuming saw that his words had caused a commotion below, he was stunned for a moment. Then, he coldly berated the crowd. Humph, you weren't so enthusiastic when we were discussing earlier. Now, you're all discussing such a small matter. With a cold gaze, Long Wuming swept his gaze across the crowd below. Then, without wasting any time, he stood up and looked to his side. Bowing respectfully, he said, Supreme Elder, earlier, Wuming sensed that humans had entered our dragon race. Furthermore, as he said that, a trace of awkwardness appeared on his face. Furthermore, the person following them seems to be my daughter. So, what? Little Ling Long? Everyone was shocked. When the Supreme Elder heard Long Wuming's words, his complexion turned extremely ugly. If it was said that he did not believe it before, but now, he was completely convinced that this matter was true. There was no other reason other than the fact that Ling Long was involved. That's right. That's not all. Golden Dragon and his brother seem to have come together. So, I'll go and take a look. I'm afraid that little Ling Long might be deceived by the humans. If something were to happen, I'm afraid, before Long Wuming could finish his words, the Supreme Elder immediately nodded his head and said, Enough. Hurry up and go. No, forget it. I'll go with you. Hearing those words, Long Wuming was stunned. Then, he looked down and a domineering aura filled his body. All of you, wait here while we think of a solution. If you still haven't come up with a solution by the time we return, there's no need for this seat to say anything. Just go and receive your punishment. Clan Chief, It must be said that Long Wuming's method was truly cunning. Hearing such an order, the crowd's expression changed immediately. This seat is informing all of you. That's all. After saying that, he left the hall with the Supreme Elder and waited at the entrance of the door without waiting for the crowd to start discussing. At this moment, Lin Rei and the rest who were in the passageway did not know that the moment they entered the Dragon Clan's entrance, the clan chief of the Dragon Clan, Long Wuming, had already sensed their presence. At this moment, the crowd was looking at the void around them curiously. Although this was only a small space passageway, there was indeed a void on both sides of the passageway. If not for the protection of the passageway's energy, if their auras were to spread to the void outside the passageway, the only outcome awaiting them would be death. Number 4 was not exaggerating. The void was filled with many primordial beasts left behind from the primordial era. For example, the Tao Tai, the Chaos Beast, the Void Beast, and many others. Any one of them could make a saint tremble in fear. Perhaps even Hong Jun would take action if he saw the Chaos Beast. Furthermore, none of their sweethearts had broken through to Hong Jun's realm. Master, we're almost there. Not far ahead is the exit of the passageway, which is the entrance to the Dragon Clan. Just as the crowd was saying that it was limited, the golden dragon under Lin Rei's feet quickly reminded them. Yes. Following that, the crowd shut their mouths and stopped talking. However, their eyes were filled with anticipation as they looked ahead. Of course, other than the 5 people from the Dragon Clan who were frightened, they were, after all, born in the Dragon Clan. Therefore, they had long been tired of such things. Soon, a bright light appeared in front of their eyes. Towards this, a smile appeared on their faces. Finally, we're finally here. Looking at the entrance of the light, Lin Rei pursed his lips and smiled. He muttered, Space Origin, wait for me. Wait for me to smelt you a few times and become a part of me. Accompany me to rule the pinnacle of the Tao. Whoosh, just as Lin Rei was feeling impassioned in his heart, a bright light appeared. The light caused Lin Rei to feel a little uncomfortable. He subconsciously closed his eyes. However, in the next moment, Lin Rei slowly opened his eyes again. However, in the next moment, Lin Rei was stunned. At this moment, in the place that Lin Rei's eyes were looking at, a middle-aged man and an elderly man were looking at them with vigilance. Seeing their vigilance, Lin Rei was stunned. Although he was puzzled, he subconsciously activated his vigilance in his body. As long as the two people in front of him dared to make a move, then Lin Rei would fight them with all his strength. Whoosh, whoosh, just as Lin Rei was vigilant, a few air-breaking sounds came from behind him. Without thinking, Lin Rei knew that it was Sakura and the others who came out from the space passage. What's going on? Sakura's voice sounded in his mind. Obviously, he noticed that something was wrong and wanted to ask Lin Rei. However, Lin Rei really wanted to say, how the F***ck would I know? If you ask me, who should I ask? I've been here since I came in. Of course, he thought so in his heart, but he said, I don't know. I only know that these two people have strong cultivations. If I don't use my full strength, I'm afraid I won't be a match for them. That's right, when Lin Rei saw the two of them, he sensed the threat from the huge energy in their bodies. Lin Rei was not an arrogant person, nor was he conceited. Lin Rei did not dare to be the slightest bit careless when facing the two of them. The pressure he felt from the two of them was something that even a Dao fruit saint had never felt. Moreover, he had advanced by a level. Even so, he still felt this way. This was enough to prove that the two of them were not ordinary. Understood. However, if the thoughts of the two of them were known by Ling Long, the Golden Dragon, and the others, they would probably burst out laughing. The scene was extremely oppressive. A smell of gunpowder filled the entire space, as if a battle would break out at any time. Daddy. However, a very prominent voice resounded throughout the entire space, singing in everyone's mind. Daddy? Hearing this voice, Lin Rei could not help but look back. He saw Ling Long, who was sitting on the Crimson Dragon, looking at the middle-aged man who was confronting Lin Rei with a happy smile on her face. Damn, it can't be. This time, Lin Rei had a bad premonition. However, at the same time, this premonition was confirmed by Ling Long soared into the air and flew into the middle-aged man's arms, kissing him. Daddy, why are you here? Did you know that I was going to bring Big Brother and the others back? Damn, no way, this guy is Ling Long's father, the Dragon Emperor of the Dragon Race? Lin Rei's eyes widened as he looked at the middle-aged man hugging the terrified man. However, when he thought about the huge energy in the other party's body, he finally understood. That's right, the middle-aged man hugging Ling Long was her father, Long Wuming. After finding out that humans had entered, he had brought the Great Elder here to wait. Big Brother? At this moment, hearing the words of the girl in his arms, Long Wuming raised his head and looked at Lin Rei. Suddenly, a wave of pressure rushed out, bypassing Ling Long and rushing towards Lin Rei. Heh, competing with me in terms of pressure? Sure. Lin Rei did not care about Long Wuming's test. After all, Lin Rei did not think that he would lose in terms of pressure. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.